Chapter 1002. She invited old Madame Chen over because she was more familiar with her. Zhao Yun wouldn't pay her for coming over to help. She was prepared to give some of the leftover meat and side dishes to old Madame Chen as a form of gratitude after she was done with her work. It was much better for the villagers to take a fancy to these things than to give them money directly. With her relationship with Mulan now, Zhao Yun didn't feel embarrassed to ask for Mulan's help. When their relationship reached a certain level, they wouldn't stand on ceremony with each other. After buying the things, Zhao Yun moved them into the car one by one. Fortunately, Xiao Mao was strong and could now pull more weight. It was all thanks to Xiao Mao. Zhao Yun patted Xiao Mao's head and said to Xiao Mao, you've worked hard. I'll give you something good to eat when we go back. Xiao Mao raised its head in response. Zhao Yun's smile deepened. After patting Xiao Mao's head, she stared at Xiao Mao and found that Xiao Mao had grown a lot. Its current size couldn't be called a little donkey anymore. It should be called a big donkey. Zhao Yun wondered if Xiao Mao's size would be as big as a horse one day. It shouldn't be possible. After all, Xiao Mao was just a donkey. It was different from a horse. It was a different species, so it would be difficult to catch up. Xiao Mao, eat well when we go back. Let's see how big you can grow. Zhao Yun patted Xiao Mao's head again and reminded it. Furry seemed to understand and made a series of soft noises. Zhao Yun thought that Xiao Mao had agreed and smiled at Xiao Mao. Xiao Mao is so obedient. Liang Jinxiao didn't have much experience in hosting a banquet for the first time, so he was worried about whether he could host a good banquet. The last time old Zhao's family held a wedding was when Zhao Tianlong got married. However, they hadn't split up at that time. Zhao Baoshan and Hu Chunhua were in charge of the arrangements. Now that they had split up, she had to take care of the family matters alone. He was afraid that he would mess up the banquet if something went wrong. If he really messed it up, it wouldn't be good for Zhao Ping's wedding. Seeing Liang Jinxiao frowning, Zhao Yunru asked, "Mother, what's wrong? What are you thinking about?" Liang Jinxiao came back to his senses and said with a smile, "Nothing. I'm just worried that we won't be able to do a good job at the banquet tomorrow." Zhao Yun chuckled and said, "Mother, I was wondering what you were worried about. It turns out that you were worried about this. Mother, it's fine. We can definitely do it well." Liang Jinxiao sighed slightly. "After all, we don't have much experience. We don't know if we can do it. Do you want to ask your grandmother to help? Your grandmother knows a lot." Zhao Yun'er waved her hand. "Mother, forget it. Grandma can help, but she will definitely extort money or things from our family. Didn't they invite Mrs. Zhu? We can just ask her to help us. She's an old woman. How can she be worse than our grandmother? Your grandmother is a family member after all. She's an outsider. She definitely won't help us so wholeheartedly. How can we trouble her?" Zhao Yun'er smiled. "Mother, you're thinking too much. To be honest, our grandmother isn't as reliable as Mrs. Zhu. Our grandmother is very jealous of our family situation now. She probably can't wait for our family to not have a good life. Now that Sister Ping is getting married, she can do her best to help us arrange the banquet." Liang Jinxiao didn't know what to say. Chapter 1003. Okay then. I can only trouble Auntie Chen. Mom, don't think about it. What's the point of thinking about it? It's just adding more trouble to yourself. Liang Jinxiao responded. She was like this. Sometimes, she couldn't help but like to let her imagination run wild. After buying these things, Zhao Yun took Xiao Mao back home. The family Qin people had their own arrangements. Zhao Yun's family just had to do their own things. Although they couldn't get involved in the family Qin matters, Zhao Yun was still curious about what the family Qin would be like. After buying the things, they returned to the village. Zhao Yun just bought the things in advance. The banquet would be held tomorrow. However, there were still a lot of things to do this afternoon. The dishes and things like that had to be prepared in advance. This way, they wouldn't be too tired when they were busy tomorrow. For example, meatballs, meat pies, and things like that. They had to be ready this afternoon or at night. There was also the chicken. The feathers had to be plucked in advance, cleaned, and stewed tomorrow morning. As for the other dishes, they could just prepare them tomorrow. After Zhao Yun got the things back, she returned to her house. Dao stayed at home the whole morning. He practiced according to what Yi Li said yesterday. When Zhao Yun returned home, she found Dao in the room. Dao had fallen quite badly. "What's wrong, Dao?" Zhao Yun saw Dao lying on the bed and couldn't help but ask. "Mom." Dao looked at Zhao Yun pitifully. "What's wrong, my little cutie?" Zhao Yun said. She walked over to Dao and rubbed Dao's little face. "Mom, Dao hurts." "Hurts? Where does it hurt?" "My leg hurts." After speaking, Dao rolled up his pants, revealing his pink and tender calf. However, Dao's originally pink and tender calf was now bruised. It looked a little shocking. It seemed like the injury wasn't light. What happened?" Zhao Yun asked with a frown. "Mom, I accidentally fell." "How did you fall for no reason?" "Uncle Handsome wanted me to practice stepping on a wooden stake. I accidentally stepped on it, so I fell from above." "Is that so?" Zhao Yun stared at Dao's injury. "Do you want Dao to practice in the future?" Dao frowned. I don't know. Mother, it hurts, it hurts." At this moment, Yi Li couldn't help but say, "Dao, Uncle Handsome told you before that it's not easy to learn how to fly. If you think it's too hard now and you want to give up, then just hang in there and give up now." After hearing Yi Li's words, Dao felt a sense of loss. In his heart, he wanted to be able to fly like Yi Li. However, he didn't think that it would be so painful to fall when he really practiced. Zhao Yun also responded, "Yes, Dao, your Uncle Handsome is right. If you want to give up, then give up as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's very normal for you to bump into things like this later on." Dao pouted. "Mom," Yi Li sighed. "Since you're a man, then you have to do this properly. Giving up halfway isn't something a man would do." Chapter 1004. When he heard Yi Li's words, Dao lowered his head in shame. It seemed that Uncle Handsome was disappointed in him. Dao thought about it. It was normal for Yi Li to be disappointed in him. After all, he had been boasting about wanting to learn how to fly in front of Uncle Handsome, but he couldn't take it after just a few days. "Uncle Handsome." Dao looked at Yi Li and muttered, "I'll do as you say. If you don't want to learn, I won't force you," Mu Lianfeng added. Dao lowered his head and thought for a moment. Then he said to Yi Li, "Uncle Handsome, if Dao wants to learn, then Dao should learn from Uncle Handsome. Dao won't be afraid of pain in the future. You can persevere." When he heard Dao's words, Yi Li's lips curled into a smile. "Since you're willing to learn, I'll do my best to teach you." "Thank you, Uncle Handsome." The corner of Zhao Yun's mouth also raised into a smile. She felt that Yi Li was right. Since he wanted to learn, then he should do his best to learn. There was no reason to give up halfway. It wasn't just this matter. Dao would more or less experience hardships when he grew up. If Dao gave up after suffering a little, then he wouldn't be able to grow. "All right then. Dao, Mother will apply some ointment on you. You'll be fine after a few days of rest," Zhao Yun said. Dao nodded. "Okay, Mother. Mother will do it for you now." "Okay." After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she rummaged through the box and took out the ointment. This ointment was left behind by Mu Lianfeng before he left. These things were prepared as a precaution against any eventuality. If someone in the family got hurt, she could take out the ointment as a precaution. It just so happened that these things that had been prepared were all put to use. Zhao Yun took out the ointment and applied it on Dao. Dao smiled and said to Dao, "Mother, this ointment feels so good. It's cold." "Really?" So comfortable. Dao's leg doesn't hurt as much anymore." Dao said with a smile. It seemed that this ointment was quite effective. Sure enough, Mu Lianfeng's things were good stuff. "Uncle Handsome." Dao suddenly looked at Yi Li. After being called by Dao, Yi Li was startled and looked at Dao. "What is it, Dao?" "Uncle Beauty, how did you learn to fly when you first started? Did you fall down like Dao?" Yi Li was silent for a moment before saying, Of course, I fell down more than once. But I always got up to practice after falling down. Then, Uncle Handsome, when you fell, didn't it hurt like Dowdu? Did you apply this cold ointment? Speaking of this, Yili suddenly fell silent. Thinking back to his past, he wasn't as lucky as Dowdu. Back then, he was forced to practice Qigong by his father, who was very strict with him. Every time he fell down during practice and hurt himself, his father would pull him to continue practicing. He wasn't like Zhao Yun, who cared about Dowdu. Now that he saw that Dowdu had Zhao Yun's gentle care, Yili was very envious. "What's wrong, Uncle Handsome?" Dowdu asked in a soft voice. "Nothing." Yili smiled bitterly. "I'm not as lucky as you. I didn't even get to apply ointment when I fell down when I was young." Dowdu looked at Yili sympathetically. "Uncle Handsome, you're so pitiful." Chapter 1005. That's right. Beautiful uncle, you're so pitiful. When you fall, you can't use the earthy ointment like Dowdu. There's someone who cares for you. Dowdu said in a soft voice. Yili raised his mouth again. "It's all right. You'll get used to it. Dowdu, you have to cherish your parents' love for you, understand?" Dowdu nodded heavily and replied, "I understand, beautiful uncle." At the mention of Dowdu's father, Dowdu's little brows furrowed slightly, and he muttered something. "Mother, father has been away for a while. When will he be back?" Zhao Yun was silent for a moment. She herself wasn't sure. Mother doesn't know either, but he should be back soon. Oh, Dowdu's little eyes darkened, and he looked a little disappointed. It seemed that he really missed Mu Lianfeng. Zhao Yun also hoped that Mu Lianfeng would hurry back. She wondered how he was doing in the capital. Yili's heart tightened when he heard Dowdu and Zhao Yun's conversation. If Mu Lianfeng came back, then he would have to leave. After all, Mu Lianfeng would definitely be unhappy when he saw him. Moreover, their family was very warm together. As an outsider, it wouldn't be right for him to come between them. He still had to recuperate for a few more days. When Mu Lianfeng came back, he would leave. In the afternoon, Zhao Yun went to the third branch to work. Mu Lan and Mu Hin followed her. Originally, Zhao Ping didn't like Mu Hin, but she was here to help her with the banquet. Moreover, because she was about to get married, Zhao Ping was in a very good mood. She couldn't wait to get married and become Qin Yuan's real wife. As long as they were not married, they were not husband and wife. There were too many variables. Zhao Ping was afraid that Qin Yuan would suddenly regret his decision. By the time they got married, it would be too late for Qin Yuan to regret. Zhao Ping was very excited at the thought of becoming Qin Yuan's wife. The closer the date was, the more obvious Zhao Ping's desire to get married was. When it was time for a woman to get married, she would still be reluctant to part with her family and act a little sad. However, Zhao Ping was different. Zhao Ping was always talking about whether time could pass faster. Seeing Zhao Ping like this, Zhao Yun could only roll her eyes. As for Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua, they could only sigh. They had raised such a grown-up daughter, and she was about to get married. Initially, they were a little reluctant to part with her. However, looking at Zhao Ping now, she didn't seem to be reluctant to part with her parents at all. As the saying goes, a grown woman can't be kept at home. Zhao Ping was probably like this. It would be good for her to get married early. What? They could worry about that. After 2 days of work, Zhao Ping married into a family Qin family. It was quieter with one less person in the house. While Zhao Yun and the others were busy with work, Zhao Ping was holed up in the house. She had no intention of helping at all. When Liang Jinxiao saw this, he couldn't help but say, "Ping, if you don't have anything else to do, don't stay in the house. Come out and help." Zhao Ping pursed her lips unhappily. "Mother, why do you want me to help? It's not like you can't handle it. Ping, even outsiders are here to help. It's your own business. Aren't you embarrassed to play by yourself and not care about anything?" Zhao Ping was unhappy and retorted, "Mother, how can you say that? If I'm busy, my hands will definitely not look good. Mother, I still want to get married prettily tomorrow. Chapter 1006. No one could argue with her when she decided to slack off. She made up so many excuses. Zhao Yun could not help but roll her eyes. This Zhao Ping was really interesting. She was lazy, but she still had to come up with so many excuses. However, thinking that Zhao Ping was disgusting her at home, she could only be disgusted for one day. She would be getting married tomorrow, so she would not be upset if she did not see her. Mother, I'm telling the truth. It's not like you need my help. All right, let's not talk about you anymore. Go to the house and rest. Anyway, I can't count on you. Liang Jinxiao said helplessly. Sigh, some people really can't recognize themselves. Even if they take good care of their hands, what's the use? Looking at that face, I don't have any appetite anyway, Zhao Yun muttered. Coincidentally, Zhao Ping had already gone into the house and did not hear Zhao Yun's words. Otherwise, she would definitely jump out and argue with Zhao Yun again. Liang Jinxiao hurried to Zhao Yun and said to Zhao Yun, if you want to say something, if Ping hears you, we'll probably quarrel again. Mother, are you still afraid that she'll be angry? I've never seen such a gluttonous and lazy woman. Zhao Yun could not help but shake her head. Why did Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua give birth to such a daughter? Sigh. At the mention of this, Liang Jinxiao also sighed deeply. What can we do? Ping is like this. I just hope that she'll become better in the future. Zhao Yun smiled. Mother, don't worry. Sister Ping will definitely become better in the future. With the guidance of her in-laws, I don't believe that Sister Ping can be as lazy as she is in our family. Liang Jinxiao agreed wholeheartedly with Zhao Yun's words. That's true. Her in-laws' family is different from her maiden family. When she's in their family, she has to be controlled by them. Now that you've become someone else's daughter-in-law, you don't have to take care of the household chores. You have to be filial to your elders and serve your in-laws. Otherwise, if you're bullied at your in-laws' house, we won't be able to say anything. Zhao Yun sneered. She was looking forward to seeing what Zhao Ping would be like when she married into the family Qin. The Qin couple looked alright on the surface, but Zhao Yun knew that these two people were also weirdos and definitely not easy to deal with. She was polite to Zhao Ping, now because she was greedy for Zhao Yun's things. Once Zhao Ping married into the family Qin family and the dowry was given, then Zhao Ping would be at the mercy of their family. Of course, the more miserable Zhao Ping's life was in the future, the happier Zhao Yun would be. She couldn't deal with this kind of B***tch, but there were plenty of people who could do it for her. Yun, I'll go get the peeled longans. Liang Jinxiao called out, then walked into the room of the third branch with a small wooden basin. When holding a banquet, in addition to some dishes, there were also desserts. When the time came, the longans would be stewed, and a bowl would be placed on each table for everyone to eat. Longans were a delicacy in the countryside. Usually, they could only be eaten on such occasions. After all, longans were more expensive and not cheap. Not everyone could afford it. Mother, go ahead. Zhao Yun responded. Peeling longans was also a huge project. With so many longans, it would probably take half an hour to peel all of them. When they arrived at the room of the third branch, Zhao Ping saw that Liang Jinxiao was peeling longans and hurried over. Mother, are you peeling longans? Yes. Liang Jinxiao responded. Chapter 1007. Zhao Ping suddenly became very attentive. Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Ping with some confusion. Ping, didn't you just say that you don't want to help with the chores? You need to take good care of your hands. Otherwise, they won't look good when you get married tomorrow. Zhao Ping smiled embarrassedly. Mother, that's washing vegetables and cutting dishes. It hurts my hands. Peeling longans won't hurt my hands at all. Liang Jinxiao nodded and thought that it was true. Zhao Ping continued to be very attentive. Mother, you can go out and do your work. Leave this to me. I promise to help you peel them well. Liang Jinxiao glanced at Zhao Ping, and thought that since Zhao Ping was willing to work, it was a good thing. There was still a lot of work outside. He would leave this to Zhao Ping, so that he could go out and help out more. Thus, he nodded to Zhao Ping, and said, "Okay, Ping, I'll leave this to you. Don't worry, mother. I'll definitely do it well." This was not a difficult task. It only needed to take some time. Liang Jinxiao agreed. He went out to help with other things. Zhao Yun saw Liang Jinxiao come out and asked curiously, "Mother, how did you finish peeling the longans so quickly?" Liang Jinxiao smiled and said, "It's not that I finished peeling them. It's your sister Ping, who helped to peel them." Sister Ping is helping? Zhao Yun frowned. Zhao Ping said that she would not help a second ago, but the next second, she stepped in and helped to peel the longans. According to Zhao Yun's understanding of Zhao Ping, that woman Zhao Ping must be up to no good. "Mother, don't let Sister Ping eat all of them while she's peeling them." Liang Jinxiao's lips twitched. "Yuner, that can't be right." "Mother, what's there to not know? It's not like you don't know what Sister Ping is like." "I don't think so. If he ate it all, what would the customers eat tomorrow? He shouldn't be so insensible," Liang Jinxiao muttered. Although he said so, he was actually a little worried. Therefore, she hurried into the house to see how Zhao Ping was peeling it. In fact, it was somewhat similar to what Zhao Yuner had guessed. Zhao Ping sat in the house, peeling and eating from time to time. However, Zhao Ping was smart. She didn't spit the shell out on the ground. Instead, she put it in her pocket. This way, no one would be able to find out after she ate it. If Liang Jinxiao hadn't secretly glanced at it, he probably wouldn't have found out. Seeing that Zhao Ping was secretly eating, Liang Jinxiao couldn't help but sigh in his heart. How could his daughter be like this? She was really insensible. She was already so old, but she didn't think about anything. She was really making her parents worried sick. Liang Jinxiao walked up to Zhao Ping, and said to Zhao Ping, with a sullen face, "Ping, I asked you to peel the shell, not to eat it. You said that you were peeling and eating at the same time. By the time you finished peeling all the shells, would you have eaten half of them?" Zhao Ping didn't expect Liang Jinxiao to suddenly barge in. She frowned and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, why did you come in again? You didn't even make a sound. You were like a ghost. You scared the hell out of me." Liang Jinxiao was angered by Zhao Ping. This girl, what was she talking about? She didn't pay attention at all. What did she mean by she looked like a ghost? Which part of her looked like a ghost? Wasn't she cursing someone? It sounded very unlucky. Chapter 1008. Mother, Zhao Ping knew that Liang Jinxiao had seen her eating secretly. She lowered her head and did not know what to say for a moment. "Hey, you little girl. I asked you to peel something, but you ate it secretly. If you finish it, what are you going to feed the guests tomorrow?" "Mother, isn't there more?" Zhao Ping muttered unwillingly. "There is more, but there isn't a lot. If you eat too much, there won't be enough for the guests. We didn't buy that much," Liang Jinxiao said in a lecturing tone. Because Liang Jinxiao was rarely strict with Zhao Ping, Zhao Ping felt very wronged and uncomfortable when he suddenly said this. "Mother, didn't I just eat something? If you talk about me like that, I won't eat anymore." Zhao Ping pouted her mouth and looked unwilling to give up. Liang Jinxiao sighed deeply again. "Hey, okay. You little girl, just don't eat it later." "Okay, I know, Mother." After Liang Jinxiao finished nagging Zhao Ping, he went out again. He thought that Zhao Ping would not continue to eat in the future. He felt a lot in his heart. What Liang Jinxiao did not expect was that Zhao Ping was extraordinarily thick-skinned. After Liang Jinxiao left, Zhao Ping peeled the longans, but still secretly ate a few. Zhao Ping did not care. If there was less, wouldn't it be fine if there was less on the table? After Liang Jinxiao left the house, he continued to help. At this time, Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia came over. Li Chuiying smiled and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Third sister-in-law, you are really busy. Do you need me and your sister-in-law to help?" Liang Jinxiao glanced at Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia. She hadn't expected her sister-in-law and second sister-in-law to be so kind as to come over. She smiled a little embarrassedly. "Eldest sister-in-law, second sister-in-law, it's not good to trouble you, is it?" Li Chuiying hurriedly waved his hand and said, "Third sister-in-law, what are you saying? We are a family. What is there to be good about? It's only right that we help each other." Feng Zhangxia also followed behind and echoed, "Yes, third sister-in-law, your family is too busy. It's okay for me and your second sister-in-law to help." Is this okay?" Liang Jinxiao was still a little embarrassed to trouble the two of them. "Why not? Your sister-in-law, and I happen to be free. With 2 more people working, we can finish the work earlier. Don't you think so?" Liang Jinxiao pondered for a moment. That was indeed the case. However, it was not good to ask for help after all. Moreover, Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia's sudden kindness made Zhao Yun feel strange. Hence, Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Yun and asked for Zhao Yun's opinion first. "Yun, your eldest aunt and second aunt said that they are coming to help us." Zhao Yun looked at Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia. As the saying goes, one who is unaccountably solicitous is hiding evil intentions. She didn't believe that these 2 people came to help on the account that they were relatives. Perhaps they had some ulterior motives. Zhao Yun guessed that this matter had something to do with the banquet held by her family. After all, they had separated from old Zhao's family. As an independent family, old Zhao's family only gave a gift money. Hence, they were very fond of wine and would only invite Zhao Baoshan to the table. No one else would have a share. If their family didn't invite other members of old Zhao's family over, these people wouldn't be able to eat. Chapter 1009. After all, the smell of the food would definitely be very enticing. Most of old Zhao's family members were gluttons. Now that Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia were here to help, they knew very well that if they helped, Zhao Yun wouldn't refuse to let them eat. They could help when they had nothing to do. When the time came, they could eat delicious food. It was definitely worth it. This wasn't a losing deal, so of course they would do it. Zhao Yun smiled at Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia. "Eldest auntie, second auntie, you're really enthusiastic today." For some reason, Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia felt very guilty when they saw Zhao Yun smile. Yun, listen to what you said. It's only right for eldest Annie and second Annie to come and help. Your sister Ping, is getting married. That's a big deal. As aunts, we naturally have to help. That's right. Although we're separated, we're still a family. You have too few people. I'm afraid you won't be able to handle it. That's why we're here to help. When the time comes, you'll have more free time." The 2 of them echoed each other, and were having a lot of fun talking. The corners of Zhao Yun's mouth couldn't help but twitch. Interesting, really interesting. If one were to say that these 2 aunts were stupid, sometimes they were really smart. However, Zhao Yun didn't care. Let them say whatever they wanted. If he wanted to take advantage of her, that was not going to happen. "I didn't expect eldest auntie and second auntie to be so enthusiastic. If I had known, I wouldn't have asked outsiders for help. But now that they've already asked for help, and they took the time to come over, it's not good to let them go. So, eldest auntie, second auntie, we appreciate your kindness, but we don't need you to do anything now." Zhao Yun's words were very obvious. She was rejecting Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia's help. Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia were a little anxious. "Yun, wouldn't it be faster if we had 2 more people to help us?" Zhao Yun chuckled. "There's not much work to do. We'll be done in a while. But first auntie, second auntie, if you have nothing else to do, you can rest at home. Third sister-in-law, you see. Your eldest sister-in-law, and I want to help. Why doesn't your girl let us?" "That's right. Could it be that you despise us, or do you have something against us?" "Third sister-in-law, don't treat our good intentions as ill intentions." Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxiao were arguing in Liang Jinxiao's ear, which gave Liang Jinxiao a headache. What she didn't understand was why Zhao Yun wouldn't let Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxiao help. She knew that Zhao Yun must have thought of something. Otherwise, she wouldn't have stopped them. Zhao Yun frowned in annoyance. First auntie, second auntie, it's understandable that the two of you want to help. But your eagerness inevitably makes people feel that you're plotting something. She was talking to them nicely and giving them face. Since they didn't want to listen, then she didn't need to be polite. After Zhao Yun said this, Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxiao were speechless for a moment. What are we plotting? You silly girl, what are you talking about? Good intentions don't pay off. Haha, Zhao Yun laughed coldly. First auntie, second auntie, that's enough. You don't have to pretend anymore. There's really no benefit for you to come back and help our family. Chapter 10:10. You silly girl. We're just helping out. Do you think we're the same as you? How did we take advantage of your family? Li Chuiying said angrily with a red face. That's right. We were kind enough to help you, but you said we were taking advantage of your family. What do you mean? Feng Zhongxia also said with a red face. Eldest aunt, second aunt. Why are you so agitated? Since you're not, that's even better. Eldest aunt, second aunt, since the two of you didn't help us to take advantage of us, then let's make a deal now. When the time comes, you can't eat the dishes in my kitchen. Zhao Yun gave them a heads up in advance. If the two of them really wanted to get up later, she wanted to see if they still had the nerve to be embarrassed. Sure enough, after Zhao Yun finished speaking, Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxia suddenly stared at each other, not knowing what to say. Yun, silly girl. How can you be like this? Your eldest aunt and I are helping you, but you don't even give us food. Isn't this too much? Li Chuiying asked with a trembling voice. That's right. We don't want anything else. You can't even bear to give us food? Yun, silly girl. This isn't right. Feng Zhongxia said with some reluctance. Zhao Yun sneered. Eldest aunt, second aunt, our family didn't ask you to come over to help. We already said that we don't need your help. Since you insist, then you shouldn't ask for food. This shows that you didn't come over to help us without asking for anything. You still want to take our family's things. You silly girl. That's too much. How dare you say that about us? If you don't even give us food, then what help do we have? That's right. Hearing Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxia's nagging, Zhao Yun really couldn't stand it anymore. First aunt, second aunt, I beg you, please spare me. Our family didn't ask for your help. Since that's the case, you can go about your business. You don't have to worry about our family's affairs. Liang Jinxiao sighed and said to Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxia, eldest sister-in-law, second sister-in-law, we have enough people in our family. You two don't need to help. Third sister-in-law, why do you say that? I'll listen to Yun. Liang Jinxiao lowered his head and replied, you're an elder. Why are you listening to a little girl? You have no opinions at all. In the face of Li Chuiying and Liang Jinxiao's nagging, Liang Jinxiao did not say anything. Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxia were helpless. After nagging for a long time, Zhao Yun and Liang Jinxiao ignored them, so they had no choice but to give up. Seeing Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxia enter the room angrily, Liang Jinxiao went to Zhao Yun and couldn't help but ask, Yun, actually, it's okay to ask your first aunt and second aunt to come over and help, right? Just give them some food. When the time comes, there will be a lot of food left in our house. It's okay to give them some more food. Zhao Yun chuckled, thinking that Liang Jinxiao was too naive. Mother, do you really think that it's okay to just give them some food? Liang Jinxiao asked doubtfully. Isn't it? Chapter 10:11. With Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxia's greedy personalities, a little bit of food wouldn't satisfy them. Seeing that there was a lot of food left over at their family's banquet, they would definitely think about it. Really? Liang Jinxiao still didn't quite believe it. Mom, don't think so much. Anyway, whether it's true or not, we don't need their help now to avoid being taken advantage of. Liang Jinxiao sighed. All right then. She couldn't say anything, so she listened to Zhao Yuner. This daughter of hers was quite accurate. Under normal circumstances, she wouldn't let people bully their family too much. Even if they offended Li Chuiying and Feng Zhongxia, so be it. This wasn't the first time they had offended them, so they weren't afraid at all. There would be a lot of work to be done tomorrow. In addition to preparing these dishes, they also had to prepare tables and chairs. When the time came, Old Zhao's courtyard would definitely be full. For a banquet of 10 tables, they would have to prepare 10 tables. Their family only had one table, so they had to borrow the rest of the tables and chairs. However, this was the case for banquets in the village. It was impossible for every family to have more than one table and chair. When it came to a big event like a banquet, they had to borrow each other's tables and chairs. When they returned the tables and chairs, they just had to give some candy, peanuts, or melon seeds to express their gratitude. Zhao Wenhua had already discussed with a few families in the village about the tables and chairs. They just had to bring them back when the time came. In addition to the tables and chairs, they had to serve the dishes. For a banquet of 10 tables, there would be a lot of people, so they also needed people to help serve the dishes. Zhao Yuner's family planned to let Zhao Tianan serve the dishes. Her brother was tall and strong, so he would definitely be able to do this kind of work. The other one was Zhao Tianhu, who volunteered to help serve the dishes. Zhao Yuner naturally agreed. It just so happened that Zhao Tianhu helped, so she had an excuse to ask him to stay for dinner. Otherwise, Zhao Tianhu would be embarrassed to come over to eat if he saw that the rest of old Zhao's family didn't eat. With 2 people serving the dishes, it was more or less enough. Yuner, I'll go and borrow a furnace, Liang Jinxiao said. There were only 2 pots at home, which would definitely not be enough when the time came. He would have to borrow a stove to use. When the time came, the chicken soup could be stewed directly in the stove and wouldn't occupy the pot. Mother, who are you going to borrow it from? Zhao Yuner asked. I heard that your young mistress's family has it. I'll go over and ask if she can lend it to us, Liang Jinxiao said. When she heard that it was Zhao Yuner's eldest grandmother, Zhao Yuner felt that it was most likely impossible. It would be strange if Madame, who was willing to lend it. Seeing Zhao Yuner's reaction, Liang Jinxiao could not help but ask, What's wrong, Yuner? Zhao Yuner smiled and shook her head. Mother, it's nothing. Mother, other than my young mistress's family, is there no other family that has a stove? Liang Jinxiao thought for a moment. Other families definitely have it, but I don't know who has it. If you want to know, you have to go and ask. Why don't you go directly to your young mistress's house and see if she can lend it to us? Zhao Yuner sighed. Since that was the case, she naturally couldn't say anything. Mother, you can go and borrow it, but I don't think young mistress will lend it to us. It can't be. It's just a stove. Your young mistress shouldn't be so stingy, right? Liang Jinxiao asked with a frown. I don't know, Mother. Maybe she will. You go and ask first. If she doesn't want to lend it to us, then we don't need it. All right then. Liang Jinxiao nodded. He had to ask first and give it a try. Chapter 10-12. If she had a stove at home and someone came to borrow it from her, she would definitely lend it to them. They were relatives after all. If she didn't lend them such a small thing, she would really lose face. Of course, Liang Jinxiao was thinking on the bright side, but Zhao Yuner didn't. After all, Madame who had quarreled with their family before. It was normal for her not to lend them the stove. Liang Jinxiao went to Madame Hu's house with a tentative attitude and told her about borrowing the stove. Madame Hu didn't directly refuse to lend it to them. Instead, she talked to Liang Jinxiao about her conditions. Her conditions weren't too excessive. She just wanted them to give a bowl of leftover meat dishes to her family after the banquet. This was something that Zhao Yuner's family could definitely do. Liang Jinxiao felt that it was acceptable and agreed. To Madame Hu, a bowl of meat dishes was worth at least 10 copper coins. She wouldn't lose anything if she borrowed the stove. Anyone would be willing to get a bowl of meat dishes for free. Seeing Liang Jinxiao bring the stove back, Zhao Yuner suddenly felt as if she had seen a ghost. Mother, young mistress actually lent it to us? Liang Jinxiao smiled and said, "Sai, Yun'er, it can't be considered as lending it to us. Your young mistress didn't agree at first. Later on, she said that if we were to hold a banquet, we would have to give them a bowl of meat dishes." After Zhao Yun'er heard this, she couldn't help but snort coldly. She has the nerve to ask for an exorbitant price. She asked for a bowl of meat dishes just to borrow something. Liang Jinxiao was equally helpless. "Yun'er, there's no choice. If she doesn't want to lend it to us, we won't lend it to her. If we borrow it from someone else, we'll definitely be embarrassed and have to give them something. Let's just give them a bowl of leftover meat dishes." Zhao Yun'er thought about it and felt that it made sense. Fortunately, they only asked for vegetables and didn't ask for an exorbitant price. "All right, mother. That's settled then. All right, mother, put the stove in the house. We still need it tomorrow." Yeah. Zhao Yun'er said and began to prepare to wash the chicken. The chicken had already been slaughtered, plucked a few feathers, and was about to be cut open. Zhao Yun'er rolled up her sleeves. She had to roll them up high so that her sleeves wouldn't get wet. After Zhao Yun'er rolled up her sleeves, the golden bracelet that was originally worn on her hand appeared in front of everyone. Mulan and Mu Hin were momentarily blinded by the shiny golden bracelet on Zhao Yun'er's wrist. Mulan's eyes were attracted by the golden bracelet on Zhao Yun'er's wrist. She asked Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, your bracelet is so beautiful. Is it gold?" Zhao Yun'er glanced at the golden bracelet on her wrist. The corners of her mouth curved slightly, and she nodded in response. "Yeah, it's gold." Mulan looked at Zhao Yun'er with envy in her eyes. "Yun'er, it's so beautiful. Such a big golden bracelet must be worth a lot of money, right?" Zhao Yun'er nodded. It should be worth a lot of money. However, she didn't know the exact price. After all, it was a gift from Yi Li. She also didn't have the nerve to ask Yi Li how much he paid for the bracelet. "I'm not sure either. Yun'er, was it a gift from Master Shitzi?" Mulan gossiped and asked. After asking, Mulan continued to mutter to herself, "AI, look at how I'm asking. It must be a gift from Master Shitzi. Other than Master Shitzi, who else could give you such an expensive gift?" Chapter 1013. If she were to say that Yi Li had given this to her, how would Mulan react? In order not to let Mulan think too much, Zhao Yun'er did not explain and let Mulan think that Mu Lianfeng had given it to her. Mulan stared at Zhao Yun'er's bracelet and continued to look at it. Her expression was full of envy. "Yun'er, you're the luckiest woman I've ever seen. You're so lucky to be with Master Shitzi. Master Shitzi is of noble status. If you're with him in the future, no one will bully you." Zhao Yun'er smiled and said, "Sister-in-law Mulan, you don't have to be envious of me. Isn't Brother Eru also quite good? You have to cherish him." Mulan nodded. "Eru is quite good. Apart from not having a status like Master Shitzi, he's not bad at all." Zhao Yun'er smiled. "That's enough. These are all external things. As long as Eru treats you and the child well, the most important thing is that your family is happy together." Zhao Yun'er knew that it was normal for Mulan to be envious when she saw her living condition with a man like Mu Lianfeng. As long as it was a woman, she would probably want her man to be outstanding and perfect. However, Zhao Yun'er still hoped that Mulan would set her mind straight and not neglect what she had because she was envious of others. Actually, Mulan did not know that she was also envious of her. No matter what, Zhu Eru was a good husband and a good father. Mulan was Zhu Eru's wife, and the two of them could be together legitimately. Although they were not that rich, they were happy together as a family, and their lives were getting better and better. But she, compared to Mulan, she was a far cry. Until now, she still didn't have a proper identity, and she could foresee the difficulties she would face when she was with Mu Lianfeng in the future. In fact, if she could, she would rather Mu Lianfeng be an ordinary person. When the two of them were together, they didn't have to think too much. As long as they worked hard, their days would get better and better. Mu Hin quickly responded, "Sis, Yun'er sis is right. Brother-in-law is a good man. You don't know how many people envy you for marrying a good man. If I were to get married, I would also want to marry someone like brother-in-law." After being coaxed by Zhao Yuner and Mu Hin, Mulan felt very happy. "That's enough. Stop praising him. If you continue to praise Eru, he will be praised to the heavens." Mulan mocked Zhao Yuner and Mu Hin, but there was a smile on her face. "Sister-in-law Mulan, I'm not praising him. I'm telling the truth." "That's right, sis. Brother-in-law is a good man. It's not too much to praise him to the heavens." Haha, Zhao Pinger finished peeling the longan and walked out of the house. She had wanted to greet Liang Jinxiao. Then, she saw the golden bracelet on Zhao Yuner's wrist, and her eyes lit up. She walked towards Zhao Yuner. Zhao Pinger's attitude suddenly became much better. She smiled at Zhao Yuner and said, "Sister Yuner, where did you get the golden bracelet on your wrist?" After Zhao Yuner heard Zhao Pinger's words, she couldn't help but frown. Why did this woman come out of the house and see the golden bracelet on her wrist? Chapter 10:14. Could it be that she had taken a fancy to her bracelet? Zhao Yuner's frown deepened. Thinking about it, this was indeed a possibility. Somewhat displeased, she said to Zhao Pinger, "Sister Pinger, why do you care so much? What does it have to do with you where I got this bracelet? In any case, it wasn't stolen or snatched." Zhao Pinger pursed her lips. "Zhao Yuner, why are you so petty? I'm just asking a question." "Ask a question, and you're not telling me." Zhao Yuner sneered. "Sister Pinger, what's the point of asking this question? What does it have to do with you where I got it?" If you don't want to tell me, then don't tell me. Even if you don't tell me, I can guess that Lord Air must have given it to you." Zhao Yuner rolled her eyes. "Sister Pinger, since you already know, why are you still asking?" Zhao Pinger angrily glared at Zhao Yuner before suddenly suppressing her anger. Zhao Pinger's eyes turned, and she moved closer to Zhao Yuner. She said to Zhao Yuner, "Younger sister Yuna, I have something to discuss with you." "Sister Pinger, if you have something to say, just say it." Zhao Yuner replied indifferently. This Zhao Pinger had learned how to make a fuss. Zhao Pinger smiled embarrassedly and then said, "Yuner, your golden bracelet is really beautiful. I'm getting married tomorrow. When I get married, can you lend me your golden bracelet for a day? After I get married, I'll return it to you. What do you think?" After Zhao Pinger finished speaking, she looked nervously at Zhao Yuner, waiting for Zhao Yuner's reply. When Zhao Yuner heard this, she couldn't help but snort softly. This Zhao Pinger, she didn't know where she got the cheek to actually have the nerve to open her mouth and say such things to her. "Yuner, just lend it to me for a day. I definitely won't break your golden bracelet, and I'm not asking you for it and not returning it to you. I just want to make myself more beautiful when I get married tomorrow." "Yuner, you can't even bear to this, can you?" Zhao Pinger looked at Zhao Yuner anxiously. Without waiting for Zhao Yuner's reply, "Zhao Yuner, we're sisters. You can't trust others, but do you think I can't trust you?" After saying this, Zhao Pinger's gaze landed on Zhao Yuner's bracelet. Usually, Zhao Pinger would definitely not say such things. This time, because she wanted to beg her, she and Zhao Yuner acted like sisters. If these words were to be said, how could Zhao Pinger not want to vomit? Haha, Zhao Yuner sneered. "Sister Pinger, no one can win against you when it comes to talking. But you know that this bracelet was given to me by Master Shitzi. Master Shitzi told me not to lend it to others. Yuner, other people are other people. We're sisters, so am I other people? Why aren't you other people? Yuner, just lend it to me. Lend it to me for a day, please." Zhao Pinger was like a pile of dog poop. Once she stuck to it, she couldn't get rid of it. Zhao Yuner's frown deepened, and her face was filled with disgust and impatience. "Zhao Pinger, are you done yet? I won't lend it to you. Don't bother me. There are so many things that I can't finish, but you're here to meddle." Zhao Yuner said unhappily. Chapter 10:15. Little Ping, why do you want to borrow it? Isn't it good enough to wear the wedding dress? You don't need the gold bracelet to embellish it. Liang Jinxiao said. Zhao Ping shook her head and said, "Mother, that's different. The wedding dress is the wedding dress, and the gold bracelet is the gold bracelet. The wedding dress looks good, but if I can wear such a golden bracelet when I get married, then others will see it, and it will be very impressive. Liang Jinxiao said with a frown. Ping, if you wear the gold bracelet, others won't see it. It's not in your sleeve. Mother, I can roll up my sleeve. Just like Yun, and now won't others see it? After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Liang Jinxiao's expression was very complicated. Zhao Yun couldn't help but roll her eyes. This idiot actually wanted to do this. Wasn't she afraid of being beaten up for flaunting her wealth? Forget it. Ping, what's the point of doing this? You'll be laughed at by others if you do it. Zhao Ping pouted. Mother, you're just biased toward Zhao Yun, not letting them lend it to me. Mother, I'm about to get married, and you're still biased. Zhao Yun looked at Zhao Ping, as if she was looking at a retard. Zhao Yun, I beg you, don't talk nonsense. Even if Mother says it, I won't lend it to you. Why are you so stingy? So, what if I'm stingy? You're too evil. Idiot. Zhao Yun glanced at Zhao Ping, and complained. She really didn't want to talk to a retard. It was really tiring to communicate with them. Zhao Yun, you, forget it if you don't want to lend it to me. Do you think I care? When I have the money, I'll buy it myself. Zhao Ping said angrily, then turned and entered the room of the third branch. There was a reason for her to say this. After all, she was still planning to set up a stall with Ma Xiaofeng. Once he succeeded, he would definitely be able to earn a lot of money. When she had money, she would buy all kinds of jewelry to dress herself up. After dressing herself up beautifully, Qin Yuan would definitely like her when he saw her. Zhao Yun looked at Zhao Ping, back as she left. She felt that Zhao Ping was just daydreaming. Yunner, don't take out the golden bracelet on your hand so easily in the future. What if someone steals it from you? Mulan thought for a while and reminded Zhao Yunner. After all, Zhao Yunner's bracelet was not ordinary. Zhao Yunner's golden bracelet was really too eye-catching. Okay, my sister-in-law. I know. If I don't wash it, I won't easily reveal it. In the afternoon, the third branch was as busy as a raging fire. The construction of the foundation of Zhao Yunner's house had been temporarily suspended for the past 2 days. After all, Zhao Wenhua had to be busy at home and couldn't handle the construction of the land. At 3 or 4 o'clock, Zhao Wenhua and Zhao Tianen came back from outside. When Zhao Tianen saw Mu Hin, he was slightly excited. He went up to Mu Hin and smiled at Mu Hin. Mu Hin, you're here to help too? Mu Hin nodded heavily, but there was a touch of shyness on her face. She didn't dare to look at Zhao Tianan. Thank you for coming to our house to help. Zhao Tianan said gratefully. You're welcome. Mu Hin said shyly. Zhao Tianan squatted together. I'll help too. Zhao Yunner didn't say anything to Zhao Tianan and let Zhao Tianan help. Chapter 10:16. His younger brother didn't seem to be good at picking up girls. He was really bad at picking up girls. How could he please a girl like this? He thought that if Zhao Tianan was also interested in Mu Hin, should he teach his younger brother how to pick up girls? After all, Zhao Tianan was really too old-fashioned and dull. When they were almost done, Mulan went back. Zhao Yunner didn't ask them to stay for dinner. After all, Mu Hin had to go back and prepare food for Zhu Eru and the children. Because there were many ingredients, Zhao Yun prepared a more sumptuous meal for dinner. The meat was directly fried on a plate, and there was also meat pie soup. When Zhao Yun saw the meat pie soup, she couldn't help but swallow her saliva. She liked to eat this kind of food, but it was more troublesome to make. So she didn't get to eat it often. This time, because it was a banquet, she specially put in a lot of effort to make it. There weren't many ingredients, but she had to cut the meat into small pieces and then use a small hammer to hammer the meat into a pie shape. This took a lot of effort. In addition, after blowing the meat into a pie shape, she spread a layer of flour on it. When eating, she directly added a little oil to the pot, boiled some water, and then put the meat pie in. When the meat pie was cooked, she added other seasonings. Finally, when she took it out of the pot, she just had to sprinkle a handful of chopped green onions. However, the meat pie made was very chewy and tasted better than ordinary meat. Because there were many preparations, Zhao Yun's family also ate a lot. The meat pie didn't come out of the pot, but it emitted a strong fragrance. The third branch of the family ate happily, but old Zhao's family didn't eat well. They didn't prepare much food for dinner. It was just some wild vegetables without oil. Even a rice was mixed with some miscellaneous grains. There was no white rice to eat. From time to time, the fragrance from Zhao Yun's kitchen made old Zhao's family hungry. Li Chuiying couldn't help but swallow his saliva. When he thought that Zhao Yun's family could eat good food, but they couldn't, Li Chuiying panicked. He originally planned to help so that he could eat. Now, because of Zhao Yun, he couldn't eat now. Mom, our food is really bad. When can we buy some meat? Li Chuiying swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva and asked her Chunhua. Eat, 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 eat. You don't need to pay. We don't have money now, and you still want to eat meat. Why don't you go eat shit? Li Chuiying retorted indignantly. Mother, who would eat shit? As long as they don't eat shit. Meat. Ha ha. Hua Chunhua snorted. Then you're smart now. I thought you would say that shit tastes better. The other people at the table couldn't help but snicker. Especially the first branch. Feng Zhangxia felt proud when she saw that Li Chuiying was so familiar with Hua Chunhua. This idiot. She should be scolded. Shen Pan didn't have much of an appetite. After hearing Hua Chunhua's words, she couldn't eat anymore. A country bumpkin was indeed a country bumpkin. Even when eating at the dining table, they could still talk about eating shit. Could it be that they were not afraid that others would not be able to eat it? However, Hua Chunhua was her elder, so Shen Pan couldn't scold Hua Chunhua. No matter how uncomfortable she felt, she suppressed it. Chapter 10:17. Country bumpkins were a characteristic of country bumpkins, especially old Zhao's family. He could tolerate it only if they didn't eat well, but he couldn't stand their nauseating chatter. She would return to her maternal home in a few days to recuperate. Fortunately, she didn't have to endure it for too long. She just had to wait for Zhao Tianlong to pass the scholarly examinations. She would have something to look forward to, and she wouldn't feel too hopeless. Mother, what are you saying? Li Chuiying felt very embarrassed after being scolded by Hua Chunhua. Hee, I'm speaking in human language. Don't tell me you don't understand. Li Chuiying pursed her lips and muttered, Mother, in front of so many people, her mother was really too much. She spoke without thinking. She didn't hold back at all, and didn't give her any face at all. Although she knew that Hua Chunhua was used to speaking like this in front of the whole family, she still felt uncomfortable. Mother, can you stop talking? You eat sh*t all day, and I can't eat anymore. Zhao Xinhui threw her chopsticks away and complained angrily to Hua Chunhua. Okay. It's Mother's fault. Mother won't talk about it, okay? Hua Chunhua saw that Zhao Xinhui was about to get angry, so she quickly shut her mouth and said. Zhao Xinhui still snorted unhappily. The food at home is so disgusting. Third brother's food smells so good. Mother, I want to eat third brother's food. Hua Chunhua looked at Zhao Xinhui helplessly. Mother wants to eat it too, but I can't. Your third brother and third sister-in-law are very petty. They won't let us eat it. Zhao Xinhui's expression was cold, and she didn't speak. Hua Chunhua quickly continued to coax her. All right, how about this? Mother will buy a catty of meat tomorrow and let you eat it alone. Only then did Zhao Xinhui's mood improve. Mother, really? Of course it's true. Mother, all right then. Zhao Xinhui seemed to accept reluctantly. The other members of old Zhao's family were not happy. Mother, can we eat even if little sister eats it? Why don't you buy an extra catty of meat while you're at it? Li Chuiying said unwillingly. Just thinking about what Hua Chunhua had done made him angry. How could she do this? Zhao Xinhui didn't say anything when she brought it up and scolded her, but she was the one who brought it up. What are you talking about? Hua Chunhua glared at Li Chuiying again. You talk too much. The others didn't say anything, but you did. Your little sister's body is weak and needs to be nourished. What are you guys yelling about? With that, Hua Chunhua continued to glare at Li Chuiying and said, if you want to eat meat, you have to wait until Jing gets married. She'll send money over as a gift before we have the money to buy meat. Now that the family is almost emptied, we should save as much as we can. At the mention of Zhao Jing's marriage, Hua Chunhua glanced at Zhao Jing. Didn't you say that young Master Zheng was going to marry Jing? We entertained them with chicken and meat, but now there's not even a trace of them. We probably won't be able to recoup the money we've invested. Hua Chunhua said angrily. She was very displeased and her tone was very harsh and had a hint of sarcasm. After she said that, the expressions of the second branch didn't look too good. Zheng Qian didn't mention this at first because he was very anxious. Now that Hua Chunhua had mocked him, he felt even worse. Chapter 1018. Hua Chunhua snorted. All right, if he really wanted to marry her, he would have come to our house to talk about it a long time ago. Why would he wait until now? I'm guessing that this marriage is most likely a failure. The reason why Lord Zheng hasn't rejected him yet is that he has asked a matchmaker to find a girl from another family. As long as a girl agrees, Zheng Qian won't come to Jing. After Hua Chunhua said that, the second branch fell silent. In fact, they had the same guess as Hua Chunhua. If he really wanted to marry her, he would have come to talk about it with the betrothal gifts. But even so, the second branch was still looking forward to it. As long as Zheng Qian didn't give them an official reply, it meant that it was possible. Zheng Qian was such a good man, and it was hard to find a girl like him. Otherwise, the second branch of the old Zhao family would have asked the matchmaker to find another family for Zhao Xinhui. Mom, it hasn't been decided yet. Jing is a good girl, and she's very pretty. It's rare to find a girl like Jing in the nearby villages, right? Hua Chunhua thought about it. That was true. Not to mention other things, Zhao Jinger's face was really impeccable. It was very beautiful. Haha, let's wait and see. If Lord Jing doesn't come, you'll cry? Hua Chunhua said sarcastically. The second branch sat straight with a touch of blush on their faces, especially Zhao Jing. She lowered her head under the table. She might as well find a hole and bury herself in it. Seeing the second branch's face being slapped, the generous person felt a burst of joy in his heart. Especially Feng Zhangxia. Before, Li Chuiying thought that Zhao Jing could get married, so he always showed off in front of her. His daughter was going to marry a good man and live a happy life with him in the future. During that time, Feng Zhangxia was annoyed by Li Chuiying, but she didn't know how to scold Li Chuiying. Now the reality had changed, and she was slapped in the face. How could she not be happy? Haha, go ahead and show off. This is what happens when you show off. She wanted to see if Li Chuiying would still show off in front of her. Feng Zhangxia added insult to injury. Second sister-in-law, what mother said is not unreasonable. You'd better not expect too much. Hurry up and find another husband for Jing. Don't delay it. After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, Li Chuiying glared at her angrily, knowing that Feng Zhangxia's words were laced with jealousy. Sister-in-law, this is Jing-er's business. You don't have to worry about it. Oh, second sister-in-law, what are you talking about? I am also Jing-er's aunt. I will definitely worry about Jing-er's marriage. Feng Zhangxia said with a fake smile. Haha, Li Chuiying sneered. She was obviously making fun of her family, but she made it sound so nice. But then again, if I didn't get involved in Jing-er's marriage, it would probably be successful. Feng Zhangxia said. The reason why she said this was to make the second branch angry and sow discord between the second branch and Zhao Yun. If Li Chuiying was stupid enough to cause trouble for Zhao Yun, then there would be a good show to watch. After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, Liang Jinxiao's face darkened even more. Chapter 1019. After Hua Chunhua said that, the second branch felt even worse. Grandma Zhao Jinga didn't know what to say. She could only lower her head and feel even worse. When Li Chuiying saw her daughter's ashamed look, she couldn't help but defend herself. Mother, how can my family's Jing, it be compared to that girl Yun? That girl Yun is very powerful and is best at seducing men. My family's Jing, is a well-behaved girl and can't do such a thing. All right, stop making excuses, Hu Chunhua replied unhappily. Li Chuiying wanted to say something, but she didn't know what to say. She was still guilty. It was useless to argue about it now. Mother, I'm full. I'm going back to my room. Zhao Jinger couldn't stay any longer. She put the bowl and chopsticks on the table, got up and left. Looking at Zhao Jinger's back, she seemed very sad. Li Chuiying sighed heavily in her heart. It was normal for her baby daughter to be sad. After all, Hu Chunhua and Feng Zhongxia had said terrible things. Her daughter was a thin-skinned girl. She definitely couldn't bear such words. There was no other way now. She could only ask matchmaker Gao to go to the Zheng family and ask what Zheng Qian meant. She couldn't leave her daughter hanging, could she? If she wanted a reply, she should give it as soon as possible. Her daughter's marriage couldn't be delayed forever. The atmosphere at old Zhao's table suddenly became much more gloomy. Mother, there's going to be a banquet at third younger brother's house tomorrow. Should we go with father? Feng Zhongxia asked. Hu Chunhua replied, Of course your father will go. Why do you ask? Mother, I think the banquet at third younger brother's house must be very good. There will be food and wine. Feng Zhongxia added. Hu Chunhua frowned and said unhappily to Feng Zhongxia, Eldest daughter-in-law, what are you talking about? What are you trying to say? Mom, I just want to say that we can send some money to them as well. Just give them 20 copper coins as a token of appreciation. At that time, the men in our family will be able to enjoy the meal. If you can eat it back for 20 copper coins. Feng Zhongxia looked at Hu Chun as if she was trying to please her. Hu Chun rolled her eyes and said, You have a good idea. Although you can eat it back, you still have to spend money. We don't have that much money for you to spend. Mother, it's not good for me to not be able to eat at our third brother's banquet, right? Mother, it's not like our family spends money every day. This time, we're willing to part with it. Very early on, when Shui hurriedly followed up on Feng Zhongxia's words, the thought of being able to eat meat and drink wine made him drool. Tomorrow, his third brother would hold a banquet, and everyone in the courtyard would be eating delicious food. Their family couldn't eat wild vegetables at home like they did now. They lost their appetite after just a glance at them. That's not good either. How about this? When third younger brother's banquet is over tomorrow, there will be a lot of leftover food. I can ask for some of it back at that time. In this way, you can eat delicious food again and don't need to spend dozens of copper coins. Hu Chunhua's words weren't unreasonable. However, it was easy to say but hard to do. Mother, will third younger brother give us some? Feng Zhongxia frowned and asked. Chapter 10:20. Mother, it's possible for third brother to give it to us. But don't forget, third brother still has Yun behind him. That girl is very stingy. If we want her to give something to our family, it will probably be very difficult. Third brother's family has so many leftovers, so who else should they give them to? I don't think they can eat all of it. Mom, third brother's family is building a house now, and there are many people coming. What if they eat all of it and don't give it to us? Hu Chunhua frowned and said seriously, How can they not give it to us? If they really don't want to give it to us, we'll go and make trouble for them. They used old Zhao's yard, so they should at least be rewarded, right? Hearing Hu Chunhua's words, Feng Zhongxia's eyes lit up, and she hurriedly nodded. Mom, you're right. They used our yard, so they should at least be rewarded, let alone our own family. You can't be so stingy to your own family. Okay. Liang Jinxiao replied calmly. Mom, I want to eat at the table tomorrow. I don't want to eat leftovers. Zhao Xinhui pouted and said. She was a bit of a clean freak. When she thought about how so many people had touched their chopsticks and ate the food, how could she eat the leftovers when the time came? Hu Chunhua was slightly surprised. Hui, how can you eat at the table? Your eldest brother and second brother can't eat at the table. Only your father can. It's okay to eat leftovers as long as it's delicious. No, I don't want to eat at the table. Mom, you know I don't eat leftovers. I want to eat at the table. You. Hui Chunhua felt helpless. Hui, if you eat at the table, your father can't eat at the table. I think it's better if you don't eat at the table. No, Mom, I just want to eat. I want to eat. Hui Chunhua felt helpless. Hui, I can't do that. How about this? I'll tell your sister-in-law to leave some leftovers. They haven't eaten at all. Zhao Xinhui was still displeased. Mom, I don't care. I just want to eat at the table. Zhao Xinhui knew that eating at the table was different. After all, eating at the table was different from eating leftovers. They could taste all the good dishes served at the table. Well, Hui Chunhua thought for a while. She could only do what Feng Zhangxia said. She added 20 copper coins and let Zhao Xinhui enjoy the meal as much as she wanted. Mom, I want to eat at the table. Zhao Xinhui pulled Zhao Yun'er's sleeves and begged Hui Chunhua. All right, it's only 20 copper coins. Hui, go and eat. You must eat back the 20 copper coins. Zhao Xinhui nodded. Mom, I know. Of course, I'll eat back the 20 copper coins. That's great. The other people at the table had already been annoyed by Hui Chunhua's favoritism. They couldn't say anything, but Zhao Xinhui immediately made a fuss. How could she do that? Zhao Wenshui couldn't help but say, Mom, it's not worth it for us men to eat at the table. My younger sister can't eat as much as us, and she doesn't drink either. Zhao Wenshui's meaning was obvious. If Zhao Xinhui could eat at the table, why couldn't they? All right, stop talking. If all of you eat at the table, where will you get so much money? You only know how to be calculative. If your younger sister goes, how can you be the eldest brother? Chapter 10:21. She knew that if she said one more word, Hui Chunhua would nag at her again. I know, Mom. I'm just saying. I didn't say that I must eat it at the dining table. It's good that you know. Hui Chunhua snorted. Old Zhao's family was eating in low spirits, while Zhao Yun'er's family was enjoying the meal. After dinner, Zhao Yun prepared to make more meatloaf soup for Yili. She wondered whether Yili had eaten it before. Seeing Zhao Yun carrying a big bowl of rice and a big bowl of meatloaf soup, Zhao Wenhua couldn't help but ask, Yun'er, who are you bringing the meatloaf soup for? Zhao Yun naturally wouldn't say that it was for Yili. She hadn't told anyone that Yili was staying with her. However, since Zhao Wenhua asked her, she had to give him an answer. Father, this is for my family's little black to eat. Zhao Yun pulled a corner of her mouth and explained. Hearing that, Zhao Wenhua opened his mouth and sighed. He said to Zhao Yun, Yun'er, your dog can eat so much? Besides, you only need to feed it with leftovers. Isn't it too extravagant to make such fresh meatloaf soup for a dog? Zhao Wenhua thought that it was just a dog, not a human. People in the village usually raise dogs to feed people with leftovers. This was the first time that he had seen Zhao Yun feeding a dog with such good food. Well, Zhao Yun smiled embarrassedly. She didn't know how to explain all of a sudden. Dad, Xiaohe doesn't eat like this all the time. It's fine to eat some good food once in a while. Haha, fine. Yun'er, you can bring it back to Xiaohe. Yeah. Zhao Yun'er responded and went back. She had to give the broth to Yili as soon as possible. Otherwise, the broth would turn cold. When they got home, Yili was lying on the floor with a pensive look on his face. No one knew what he was thinking. Zhao Yun had not yet entered the house, and the smell of meat that she wanted to spew out first penetrated her nostrils. Yili felt his appetite being whetted. Little Black was originally playing with Little Mao in the wooden shed. When he smelled the aroma of meat, he hurriedly ran towards Zhao Yun'er. Miss Yun'er, what did you bring back? Yili asked with a smile. Zhao Yun'er placed the bowl and chopsticks on the table and smiled at Yili. Have you tried meatloaf soup before? Yili shook his head. He had never heard of it. Come and try it. Zhao Yun'er greeted Yili with a smile. Yili nodded and responded. Looking at the food on the table, Yili smiled and said, Not only have I never heard of it, but I've also never seen it before. You'll be able to eat it soon. Try it and see if you like it. Yili responded and picked up a piece of meatloaf with his chopsticks and put it into his mouth. In fact, he was a very ordinary person, but it tasted really good. It was very refreshing and made people want to continue eating after eating it. It's delicious, Yili said with a smile. Haha, isn't it? I think it's delicious too. You should eat more. Okay. Zhao Yuna stared at Yili curiously. She saw that Yili was eating very happily and kept swallowing the food into his stomach. Eat slower. Don't choke. Zhao Yuna saw how fast Yili ate and was afraid that Yili would accidentally choke. Chapter 10:22. Zhao Yuna smiled even brighter. Have you really never eaten this before?
No.
Yili shook his head. It doesn't make sense. It's a very common thing. Doesn't your family cook this? Zhao Yuna looked at Yili curiously. Yili still shook his head. I've never eaten it before. All right then. Sigh, I feel like you haven't eaten anything before. Zhao Yuna looked at Yili with sympathy. Zhao Yuna was curious about Yili's personality. This man looked very lonely. He never mentioned his family members. Could he be an orphan? Just when Zhao Yuna was lost in thought, a dog suddenly barked. This barking didn't come from anywhere else. It came from Little Hay.
Woof, woof, woof.
Little Hay barked at Yili. Zhao Yuna and Yili were stunned. They looked at Little Hay, who was squatting on the ground.
Woof, woof, woof.
Little Hay continued barking and stared at the bowl on the table. Without a doubt, Little Hay wanted to eat the meat patties in the bowl. This. Yili looked at Little Hay on the ground, then looked at Zhao Yuna. He wants to eat the food in your bowl. As Zhao Yuna said, Xiaohei also responded with a whimper and then stared at Yili eagerly. Yili suddenly didn't know what to do. If a dog wanted to eat, he couldn't refuse to give it some food. Little Black's tongue was still licking here and there, looking very gluttonous. Then I'll share some with him.
Yili thought for a while.
It didn't seem good for him to take all the food. Little Hay looked at him eagerly and looked very pitiful. All right, Zhao Yun brought Little Black's bowl over, and Yili poured some meatloaf soup into Little Black's bowl. Come, Little Black, eat. Zhao Yun greeted Little Hay. Xiaohei immediately got up from the ground and rushed towards Zhao Yun. He even wagged his tail at Zhao Yun. He thought that Yili ate faster, but Little Hay ate much faster than Yili. After swallowing half a bowl of meatloaf soup, he licked the corner of his mouth to savor the aftertaste. Woof, woof, woof. Little Black continued to bark a few more times. It seemed like Little Black wanted more. Zhao Yun patted Little Black's head and said to Little Black, Little Black, I know you've grown up and your appetite has become bigger. But she's already given you half of it. Isn't that enough? Could it be that you'll only be happy if I give you everything? People should be content with what they have. You can't be like this. Otherwise, I won't give it to you next time. Little Black understood Zhao Yun's words and made a woo-woo sound, but he didn't continue to shout about eating. Little Black is so obedient. Zhao Yun patted Little Black's head and praised him. Woo-woo-woo. Little Black enjoyed Zhao Yun's stroking of his fur. Looking at Little Black's physique, he grew really fast. In just 1 or 2 months, his body had more than doubled in size. The bigger he grew, the more food he needed to eat. If it was in the past, half a bowl of meatloaf soup would probably fill Little Black's stomach. But now, it wasn't enough to fill the gaps between his teeth. Mother, Little Black can eat more and more now. Daodu came in front of Zhao Yun and said in a childish voice. Zhao Yun nodded and replied, Yes, Little Black can eat more and more. Mother, Little Black is also growing bigger and bigger. Will he grow up to be like Big Gray in the future? Chapter 10:23. Zhao Yun wasn't sure how big Little Black was, but it seemed that Little Black wasn't simple. Maybe he could grow up to be a big wolf dog, even bigger than Big Gray. Daoda's eyes lit up when he heard this. Mother, is that true? Can Little Black really grow up to be as big as Big Gray? Yes. Zhao Yun, replied when she saw that Dowdy was looking forward to it. Mother, if Little Black can grow up to be as big as Big Gray, then Dowdy will definitely be very awe-inspiring when he goes out with Little Black. Zhao Yun patted Dowdy's head and smiled. Of course. Zhao Yun was amused by Dowdy's words. A child's world was really simple. However, Zhao Yun really wanted to protect Dowdy's innocence and not let Dowdy suffer any harm. Dowdy went over to Little Black and squatted down. He patted Little Black's head and said, Little Black, you have to grow up quickly. When you grow up, no one will dare to bully me when I take you out. After Dowdy's reminder, Little Black barked a few times at Dowdy, as if to express his agreement. Seeing this scene, Zhao Yun's heart was filled with warmth. How could their family be so harmonious? How could a dog and a human be so harmonious? Being their family's dog was also very blissful. The next day, Zhao Yun's family began to bustle with activity. Zhao Ping's wedding was a big event. Zhao Yun was also very excited. Others felt that this was a joyous day and were excited to be able to join in the fun. However, Zhao Yun felt that it was very difficult not to be excited after seeing off Zhao Ping, the god of plague. Early in the morning, the people of the third branch woke up to prepare for the relevant matters. The wedding banquet was held at noon, so the banquet was held at noon. Now, Zhao Ping had to dress up and wait for the people from the family Qin to come and pick her up. Because Zhao Yun was getting married, everyone in her family had to be present, especially her uncles. In addition to Zhao Yun's first and second uncles, several aunts also came to join in the fun. There was also his cousin and Zhao Yun's grandmother. It could be said that Liang Jinxiao's entire family had come out, except for a few people of the same generation as Zhao Yun, who stayed at home and did not come. After all, they knew that Zhao Yun's family would definitely entertain them when they came over. If he could eat something good, why wouldn't he eat it? He wasn't stupid. According to the customs of the countryside, when a daughter got married, the uncle had to be present. The aunt was dispensable. As for his grandmother, she would usually come over. It was understandable that old Madame Liang came to see Zhao Ping's wedding. But what did her aunt and cousin mean by coming over to join in the fun? Zhao Yun was not stupid. Naturally, she knew what they were up to. Zhao Yun could not do anything to thick-skinned people. She could not go against them. On such a big day, it was not good to drive them away. She could only let them take advantage of her and come over to have a meal. In the morning, many people came to Zhao Yun's house to join in the fun. In the room of the third branch, Zhao Ping, who had changed into the wedding dress, was dressing up. Seeing Zhao Ping's wedding dress, the people who came were admiring and envious. Ping, you're so lucky. Yes, to be able to wear such a beautiful wedding dress. This wedding dress is so beautiful. It's obvious that it's expensive. I've seen so many people get married, but I've never seen a girl get married in a more beautiful wedding dress. Chapter 10:24. That's why Ping is so lucky. It should be said that old Zhao's third branch is very lucky. How can an ordinary family have such a beautiful wedding dress to wear? They can't bear to spend so much money. Now, the third branch is different from before. Their family is building houses and so on. They are rich. That's about right. Since they are rich, they can naturally prepare these things for their daughter. If my family was so rich, I would also prepare these things for my daughter. That's right. Only rich people can let their daughters marry off in a grand manner.
Poor people can forget about it.
This Ping's wedding dress is probably enough to buy several loads of grain. Let's just take a look. I'm so envious. Yeah, how many girls in the village can marry off in such a grand manner? Look at Ping's dowry. Old Zhao's third branch really prepared a lot. It's not shabby at all. It's just a daughter. How can it be shabby? That's right. Everyone has their own life. Ping has a good life. Yeah, Ping has a good life after all. When the onlooking villagers saw it, they chattered outside the door. The discussion was very loud, and there was no need to hide it at all. After all, They were not saying anything bad. Even if Zhao Yun'er's family heard it, Zhao Yun'er's family would definitely not take it to heart. However, the villagers' discussion fell into the ears of Zhao Yun'er's relatives. Relatives always like to compete with each other. They could not stand to see who was better than the other. Therefore, when they saw that Zhao Yun'er's daughter was getting married in such a grand manner, they could not help but feel a little jealous. Especially Zhao Yun'er's cousins. When they saw Zhao Ping's wedding dress, their eyes turned red and they looked very jealous. Liang Xinyu said to Zhao Yun'er's second aunt, Wu Zhenju, beside her ear, "Mother, look. This pig is wearing such a beautiful wedding dress today. She's so ugly. What a waste of the wedding dress." Wu Zhenju agreed very much and said, "Yeah, Ping really wasted the wedding dress. She's really overestimating herself. In comparison, she's even uglier. I don't know what Ping is thinking. How can she have no self-awareness at all?" Liang Xinyu snorted and said, "Mother, isn't it normal for them to have no self-awareness? It's a waste of this dress. Mother, when I get married, can you buy me a wedding dress? If I wear such clothes, I'll definitely look grand when I get married. I won't embarrass our Liang family. When I go back to my in-laws' side, I'll definitely have some status." This, Wu Zhenju frowned and said, It's not that Mother doesn't want to buy it for you or can't bear to buy it for you. It's just that this is a very expensive thing. Your father and the others have to agree to it. Our family is so big that we're very careful about spending money. Once we buy it for you, when the other girls get married in the future, they'll definitely haggle over it and have to buy it for you. This is not a small expense. Liang Xinyu understood that Wu Zhenju meant that it was very difficult to buy this wedding dress for her. Liang Xinyu still had a lot of unwillingness in her heart. If she did not see Zhao Ping like this, it would be fine. The main thing was that when she saw Zhao Ping dressed so beautifully for her wedding, she felt very uncomfortable in her heart. Chapter 10:25. The more Liang Xinyu thought about it, the more indignant she felt. "Mother, I'm different from the others in our family. I married into a good family, and my in-laws gave me a lot of money as gifts. Therefore, it's only right for me to dress nicely when I get married. The others can't find a good in-law, and they can't accept a lot of betrothal gifts. They can't compare themselves to me in dressing nicely and getting married in style." Liang Xinyu said to Wu Zhenju, somewhat indignant. When Wu Zhenju heard this, he felt that Liang Xinyue's words made a lot of sense. You seem to be right, Mother, of course. I'm just telling the truth. All right then. Mother will go back and tell your father and the others. Indeed, our family received a lot of money as gifts for your wedding. We have to prepare well so that you can get married in style. Yes. Liang Xinyu nodded, her heart filled with anticipation. As long as she was a girl, who wouldn't want to dress beautifully on their wedding day? Not far away, Zhao Yun'er's eldest uncle's daughter, Liang Xinzi, heard Liang Xinyue's words. Her delicate brows furrowed with disgust, as if she was very unhappy with Liang Xinyue's words. However, this unpleasant feeling was quickly hidden by him. Liang Xinzi stared at Zhao Ping and tugged at Guo Saixia, who was beside her. "Mother, Sister Ping is really lucky today." Guo Saixia nodded and said, "Yes, Ping is a lucky girl. Sister Ping looks much prettier than usual today when she dresses up like this." Haha, of course. If she doesn't look prettier, would she look uglier? As the saying goes, clothes make the man, and gold makes the Buddha. This saying is definitely true. Little Ping looks much better now that she's dressed up. Yes, Liang Xinzi replied. Liang Xinzi purposely raised her voice so that Liang Xinyu could hear her. She wanted to anger Liang Xinyu. Sure enough, when Liang Xinyu heard this, she couldn't help but roll her eyes. She felt that Liang Xinyu must be blind. Even after dressing up, she still looked so ugly. How could she say such words? "You're blind," Liang Xinyu secretly complained. The corners of Liang Xinyue's mouth curled up as she allowed Liang Xinyue to continue. She knew that Liang Xinyue was jealous of Zhao Ping. Thinking about how Liang Xinyue was jealous of others, Liang Xinyue's heart felt sour. Sister Ping, is so lucky. Don't be like him. If only you could marry half as well as him. Liang Shizi muttered again. Guo Saixia smiled and said, Zir, don't worry. I will. On this end, while the Liang family members were muttering, Zhao Ping was almost done with her preparations. Comb her hair to her tail, comb her hair to her eyebrows, comb her hair to her eyebrows, comb her hair to fill the hall with grandchildren. Old Madame Liang smoothed Zhao Ping's hair in front of her. After she was done smoothing her hair, she began to braid Zhao Ping's hair. When the hairstyle was done, she put a big red flower on her head, looking very festive. Zhao Ping sat and kept urging, hurry up, don't be too slow. What if Big Brother Yuan comes to fetch me? Zhao Ping's impatient words made everyone present feel very awkward. Whose family's girl was marrying someone like Zhao Ping? When other people got married, they were reluctant to part with them. Zhao Ping could not wait to immediately become part of their family. Chapter 10:26. After old Madame Liang finished speaking, everyone present couldn't help but snicker. They felt that old Madame Liang was right. Zhao Ping really couldn't get married like this. If it wasn't for the fact that Qin Yuan was willing to marry her, Zhao Ping would probably have to stay at home for the rest of her life and become an old lady. No wonder Zhao Ping was so anxious. Thinking about it, it made sense. Ping's grandmother, help her comb her hair quickly. Don't make her anxious. That's right. Look at how anxious he is. Hurry up. We can't let the man wait. Otherwise, he won't be willing to wait and will turn around to leave. Who will marry Ping in the future? That's right. Ping's marriage isn't easy. Don't make things difficult for her. That's right. Hurry up and do it for her. Otherwise, Ping's going to cry. The people who wanted to join in the fun said one sentence after another with a hint of teasing. Zhao Ping wasn't in the mood to bicker with them. Instead, she continued to urge old Madame Liang. Old Madame Liang was helpless. She could only help Zhao Ping's hairstyle quickly. After Zhao Ping's hairstyle was done, she looked in the mirror and started to apply rouge on her face. What are you doing? Old Madame Liang had never seen this before. She curiously came over and asked Zhao Ping. Grandmother, this is rouge. Rouge? Old Madame Liang looked at it and was still very puzzled. Yes, rouge. This thing is worth a lot. Zhao Ping said proudly. Knowing that there were so many people in a room, she was showing off. How much is it? Old Madame Liang asked weakly. Zhao Ping raised her voice and said, Grandmother, this is just a small box. It's worth a few hundred copper coins or one tael of silver. Hearing Zhao Ping's words, old Madame Liang looked at Zhao Ping in surprise. What? This thing is so expensive? It's just a small box. Little Ping, you're not talking nonsense, are you? Zhao Ping frowned and said, Grandmother, how could I talk nonsense? It's really that much. Why is it so expensive? You can buy a lot of meat with that money. Old Madame Liang felt. She felt that Zhao Ping's money was not worth it. Grandma, this is good stuff. You don't understand. After applying this stuff, it can make people look better. Zhao Ping's even more. The more she felt. As complacent. After all, she was by Bai's tit. T.S. the people at the side heard, and some of them had heard of rouge before. They could not help but sigh. Looks like the third branch is really rich now. They're even willing to buy such expensive things for the lass. Isn't that so? I heard that rouge is only used by the young ladies of wealthy families. Yes, I've heard of it too. We country folk don't have the ability to use it. Ping-erzas can't even use things that are used by the young ladies of wealthy families. Sigh, what can we do? The third branch is rich. The envious voices around them grew. Zhao Ping's vanity was greatly satisfied. Liang Xinyue's jealousy grew. Not only did the ugly Zhao Ping have a wedding dress, but now she even has rouge. Chapter 10:27.
Why?
Why did that slut Zhao Pinger have such a good life? Why wasn't their family the one who got rich? If their family was like Zhao Pinger's family and got rich, they would probably be able to afford such an expensive rouge. What a waste of good stuff. Liang Xinhua muttered. She thought that if the rouge was used on her face, it would definitely make her face very beautiful. Zhao Ping's foundation was really too poor. No matter how much she dressed up, it couldn't cover up Zhao Ping's ugly face. What a waste of good stuff. Liang Xinzi chuckled. What are you talking about? It's their problem to waste, it has nothing to do with us. Besides, their family is rich. They have the money to waste, unlike us who can't even afford to buy it. After Liang Xinzi finished speaking, Liang Xinyue felt even more uncomfortable. Don't talk nonsense. When I said waste, I wasn't referring to this. I wasn't referring to that. I can't be bothered to talk to you. Liang Xinyue pursed her lips. Liang Xinzi didn't continue speaking. However, when she saw the jealousy on Liang Xinyue's face, Liang Xinzi's heart continued to feel a little better. She liked to see Liang Xinhua jealous of others while she couldn't get anything. Grandma, I'm getting married today, so I have to dress up beautifully. That's why I have to put on this rouge. Is that so? Old Madame Liang didn't know much about this. Zhao Ping nodded. Grandma, you'll know in a while. Old Madame Liang stared at Zhao Ping curiously. She wanted to see what Zhao Ping was going to do. Zhao Ping took out the rouge from the box and applied it to her face. After applying it, her whole face suddenly became much paler. Even some of the freckles on her face were covered. When Liang Jinxiao saw this, he could not help but exclaim, Ping, girl, you look so much prettier. Zhao Ping smiled proudly and said, Grandma, of course. Grandma, ordinary people can't get such a good thing. Old Madame Liang replied with a smile.
Ha, that's right.
It's such a good thing, and so expensive. Ordinary people can't get their hands on it. Grandma, do you think I've become more beautiful? Zhao Pinger purposely moved her face closer to him. Old Madame Liang nodded as she looked at her spotless face. Yes, it does look better. With old Madame Liang's affirmation, Zhao Ping was even more proud. Thus, she continued to dig into the rouge box. After a while, she applied a lot of rouge on her face. After Zhao Ping's antics, his face, which was already pale enough, became as pale as a dead person's face. After that, Zhao Ping did not notice it at all. She still thought that she looked good with her makeup. After applying the rouge, Zhao Ping continued to apply red paper to her lips. Her lips were bright red, and it looked like modern lipstick. Thus, Zhao Ping's final makeup was a pale face with bright red lips and a birthmark on her face. She was originally a healthy person, but now she looked like a female ghost. Zhao Ping's birthmark could not be covered even by the rouge. Compared with her pale face, it was even more obvious and ugly. After seeing this, everyone fell silent. Chapter 10:28. I don't look good? Zhao Ping asked in confusion. Old Madame Liang nodded and said, Yes, Ping. You don't look good. Why don't you wipe off the rouge on your face? Zhao Ping didn't believe her and insisted, Grandma, how am I not pretty? I think I look pretty good. That's all. Since Zhao Ping insisted, the others didn't say anything. However, when they saw Zhao Ping dressed up like a ghost, they couldn't help but laugh. They didn't know where Zhao Ping got the courage to say that. Didn't she look in the mirror to see what she looked like? Liang Xinhua looked at her and was very proud. Haha, you're so stupid. Aren't you afraid that men will be scared to death if they see you like this? Fortunately, she covered her face with a veil in advance. Once the veil was put on, no one could see what Zhao Ping looked like. However, Zhao Ping Er's future husband would definitely see Zhao Ping, Er's ghostly appearance. Liang Xinyue was curious. When the Qin Yuan took off Zhao Yun Er's veil, would he think that he had seen a ghost? Faced with such a face, how could they continue to consummate their marriage? At this moment, Liang Xinyue felt a little sympathy for the Qin Yuan. What she didn't understand was why a woman like Zhao Ping was willing to marry her. Ping, I'm doing this for your own good. Why don't you listen to me? Do you really want to get married like this? The more old Madame Liang looked at Zhao Ping Er's face, the more uncomfortable she felt. In the end, she couldn't help but nag at Zhao Ping again. Zhao Ping frowned. Grandma, I put a lot of effort into dressing up. I think it's pretty good. Didn't you say it was pretty good just now? Why are you saying it's not good now? Old Madame Liang sighed. You could before, but now you've smeared too much on your face. That's why it looks weird. Zhao Ping frowned even more. Grandma, this rouge is very expensive. It would be a waste to wipe it off. Don't worry, just put it on your face.
Fine.
Ping, it's your fault for being disobedient. Don't blame us later for dressing you up. Zhao Ping grinned.
Got it, Grandma.
I won't scold you. That's good. Old Madame Liang nodded. After Zhao Ping finished dressing up, she immediately covered herself with the red veil. She then sat on the bed, waiting for Qin Yuan to pick her up. When she sat on the bed, she was nervous and excited. She wished that Qin Yuan could come over right away and marry her as soon as possible. After Zhao Ping covered herself with the red veil, the people who came over to see how the bride looked like all left one after another. Now that they saw the bride's face, they felt that she was very scary. Ordinary people probably didn't have the courage to face such a woman. They had been here for so many years and had seen many brides. Zhao Ping was the most well-dressed but ugly one they had ever seen. As they left, they were still chattering. Sigh, don't talk about Ping. Why did she only get married at such an old age? Her appearance is really too shabby. Exactly. She's not only ugly, but she also smears her face like a ghost. It's so scary. Chapter 10:29. Haha, it's mainly because Pinger is so interesting. She thinks she's pretty. Some people just don't know their place. She doesn't even know what she looks like. Why would she waste such a good rouge on her face? The rouge belongs to her. She doesn't care about it. What can you do? I really don't know what to do, but today is really interesting. Haha, I want to see how the groom will react when he sees the bride. I wonder if he'll be as scared as we are. However, we probably won't be able to see it. After all, the bride's red veil won't be lifted until the wedding night. Alas, what a pity. Most of these people were making sarcastic remarks. After all, Zhao Pinger's flaunting made them feel uncomfortable. Therefore, they naturally wanted to see Zhao Pinger make a fool of herself. In the room of the third branch, most of the outsiders had left. Only the family stayed. Seeing that Zhao Pinger was finally going to get married, old Lady Liang couldn't help sighing. Alas, I finally get to see Pinger get married. That's great. That's right. It's really not easy to see Pinger get married. Sister, you don't have to worry about Pinger anymore. Wu Zhenju followed behind old Lady Liang and agreed. However, there was a slight difference in their tones. When old Lady Liang said that, she sounded very happy, but when Wu Zhenju said that, he sounded a little jealous. Liang Jinqiao smiled. Yeah, it's really not easy for Pinger to get married. Today is a big day. I have to make arrangements for Pinger so that she can get married in a grand way. After Liang Jinqiao finished speaking, Wu Zhenju said sourly, Sister, you really married Ping off in a grand way. Look at Ping outfit. How many girls from other families can dress like this? You're only willing to spend money on her. Most people probably won't. Also, eldest sister, I heard that your family's banquet is going to have 10 tables. We've seen a lot of happy events. It's really not easy to have 10 tables. Liang Jinqiao smiled sheepishly and said, Ping is finally getting married. Since her family is able to afford it, of course we'll do it for her. Actually, the total cost isn't that much. Wu Zhenju said with a fake smile.
What are you talking about?
You look so grand, but you still say that you didn't spend much money. It seems that your family has really made a lot of money, so you don't care about this little bit of money, right? Well, it's not that big of a deal. As long as we can live a good life, it's enough. Liang Jinxiao said casually. Of course, she wouldn't tell Wu Zhenju how much money she had made. Precisely because Liang Jinxiao didn't want to tell him, Wu Zhenju wanted to know how much money Liang Jinxiao's family had made. Eldest sister, what are you talking about? How can we live a good life? It's simply wonderful. Wu Zhenju continued. Liang Jinxiao really didn't want to continue talking about this topic, but Wu Zhenju wouldn't let it go. Liang Jinxiao was very distressed. What her family was doing and how much money they had made was their family's business. It had nothing to do with other people. Chapter 1030. Second sister-in-law, it's not me. It's Yunner's ability. Liang Jinxiao pushed all the blame onto Zhao Yunner. At this moment, Zhao Yunner wasn't in the house. Liang Jinxiao thought that Wu Zhenju would drop the topic. However, to Liang Jinxiao's disappointment, Wu Zhenju kept on asking. Oh right, big sister, if you didn't mention it, I wouldn't have thought about it. Now that you mention it, I remember. What happened to your family's Yunner?
Tell us about it.
Liang Jinxiao met Wu Zhenju's gossipy eyes and felt a sharp pain in his forehead. Oh God, why was his second sister-in-law so talkative? She kept on asking questions as if she was interested in everything in their family. There were some things that Liang Jinxiao really didn't want to reveal, but Wu Zhenju asked very directly. He didn't know what Wu Zhenju wanted to do. After all, she was his second sister-in-law. No matter how annoying Wu Zhenju was, Liang Jinxiao couldn't say anything to Wu Zhenju. He could not respond to Wu Zhenju, and he couldn't make Wu Zhenju shut up. Second sister-in-law, don't ask so many questions. Big sister is already busy enough today. She doesn't have the energy to answer so many of your questions. Guo Saixia couldn't stand it anymore and stood up for Liang Jinxiao. Wu Zhenju replied unhappily. I'm also concerned about big sister's family situation. Concern is concern, but you can't ask like this. Look at big sister's headache now because of you. Guo Saixia said sarcastically. The two sisters-in-law didn't have a good relationship and didn't see eye to eye with each other. Now that there was an opportunity to criticize each other, how could they let it go? Wu Zhenju wanted to say something, but was stopped by old Madame Liang. Old Madame Liang said to Wu Zhenju, second daughter-in-law, your sister-in-law is right. I think you'd better not ask. If you have any questions, you can ask them slowly after Ping. Er's marriage is over. After all, old Madame Liang was his mother-in-law. In the Liang family, the daughter-in-law had to listen to her mother-in-law. No matter how strong Wu Zhenju was, he was still respectful to old Madame Liang. Wu Zhenju stopped for a moment after old Madame Liang finished speaking. The family gathered together and continued to chat casually. Old Madame Liang went to Liang Jinxiao and asked about the situation with Zhao Ping, Er's in-laws. After all, she didn't live in the same village as Liang Jinxiao. Old Madame Liang was old, and it was difficult for her to move around. Therefore, she didn't know much about Zhao Yun or his family situation. Liang Jinxiao told her about the situation. Old Madame Liang was quite cold. Only then did she understand how Zhao Ping got married. It turned out that they spent money to see Zhao Ping get married. This kind of thing was really rare. After all, no man would be willing to marry Zhao Yun with that face of hers. Old Madame Liang muttered, it's okay. Ping can get married. It doesn't matter if the family is poor, as long as the person is normal. Some girls even have to marry a fool or a cripple. In comparison, Ping's family is much better. That's right, Liang Jinxiao replied. Marrying a fool or a cripple was harming his daughter. Liang Jinxiao couldn't do such a thing. Even if Zhao Ping couldn't get married, he wouldn't let Zhao Ping marry someone like that. That would be harming her for the rest of her life. Chapter 1031. While they were talking, Liang Jinfin and Liang Jinyu came over. Liang Jinfin's whole family came over to eat at the wedding banquet. Nominally, it was because Zhao Ping was getting married, and it was inappropriate for her to not come as a second aunt. But in fact, she just wanted to eat more. As soon as Liang Jinfin came in, she said to the room, "Oh, everyone is here." "Yes." Wu Xinju responded and said to Liang Jinfin, "Second sister, your family is here too." Liang Jinfin was very polite to Wu Xinju. She smiled and said, "Yes, isn't this Ping Er's big day? I'm Ping Er's second aunt. How could I not come?" Wu Xinju nodded and said, "That's right. Ping Er's wedding is a big day. As relatives, we should come and support her." "Huh. That's why I'm here now. Second sister, you must be tired after such a long journey, right? Sit down and rest." Wu Xinju greeted her warmly, as if he was entertaining people in his own home. Liang Jinfin responded with a smile, "Okay, let's all take a rest." "Okay." As soon as they sat down, Liang Jinfin looked around curiously. When he saw Zhao Ping, he sighed and said, "Oh, Ping, looks so good today." With that, Liang Jinfin moved closer to Zhao Ping, to take a good look. Liang Jinqiao smiled and said, "Ping is getting married today. Of course, she has to dress up. Naturally, she has to look better than usual." Liang Jinfin responded with a smile, "Of course. After all, Ping is getting married today. Of course, she has to dress up." Liang Jinfin responded, Of course. Ping doesn't have it easy. I'm late and haven't seen how Ping looks today. Let me take a look." As Liang Jinfin spoke, he moved closer to Zhao Ping. He asked Zhao Ping, "Ping, can I lift your veil and take a look?" Zhao Ping thought for a while and finally said, "Okay, second aunt. Just one look." In fact, Zhao Ping felt that she should let more people see her beautiful appearance. She should let her second aunt see what she looked like after dressing up. It would be best if her second aunt could compliment her when she saw her. Liang Jinfin walked over with a smile and lifted Zhao Ping's veil. Liang Jinfin jumped in fright when she saw what was on the screen.
"Ah, ghost."
Liang Jinfin screamed and fell backward. Seeing Liang Jinfin scream and the words that came out of Liang Jinfin's mouth, everyone in the room was stunned at first. Then they all reacted differently. Zhao Ping was furious. Ghost? He called her a ghost. Coupled with Liang Jinfin's reaction, wasn't this too exaggerated? Zhao Ping wasn't stupid enough to think that Liang Jinfin wasn't talking about her. Hence, she looked at Liang Jinfin angrily and complained to Liang Jinfin. "Second aunt, who are you calling a ghost?" After hearing Zhao Ping's voice, Liang Jinfin realized that he wasn't looking at a ghost. It was Zhao Ping. Instantly, she felt very awkward. Chapter 1032. After Liang Jinfin explained, he felt that it would be better if he didn't explain at all. The more he explained, the more confused it would be. Zhao Ping pouted and asked angrily, "Aunt, are you blind or something? Are you trying to make me angry?" "Ping, I won't make you angry on purpose. It's just, your face is too white and you look like a ghost. I will be scared." Liang Jinfin was also somewhat displeased with a sentence of ridicule. It would be fine if she was just talking nonsense, but what she said was the truth. How could she not tell the truth? Zhao Ping was simply an idiot. It was fine if she was ugly, but if she dressed up properly, she would at least look like a normal person. Now, she wasn't even a normal person, but directly turned into a ghost. It was really frightening to look at. Why didn't Zhao Ping notice it herself? Did she think that she was beautiful in this way? Her family was also strange. Zhao Ping dressed up like this. Didn't anyone say anything? Didn't anyone remind her? How was this marriage? It was simply frightening. If the groom suddenly lifted the red veil and saw Zhao Ping's dignified appearance, he would probably have the same reaction as her. he would think that he had seen a ghost. Thinking of this, Liang Jinfin suddenly felt that it was funny. There would definitely be a good show to watch later. Mom. Zhao Ping looked at Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao's eyes moved. He walked forward helplessly and comforted Zhao Ping. All right, Ping, don't be sad. Mom thinks that you dress up like this. Normal people don't dress like this. Put the veil back on. With Liang Jinxiao's comfort, Zhao Ping felt much better. Okay, Zhao Ping responded softly, and then put the red veil back on. After Zhao Ping covered her head with the red veil, Liang Jinxiao gave Liang Jinfin a look, indicating that Liang Jinfin should stop talking. Liang Jinfin had no choice but to play along. The other people in the room snickered. They couldn't be blamed. They really couldn't take it anymore. With Zhao Ping's appearance, as long as one was a human, they would think that she was a ghost. She didn't know why Zhao Ping didn't have that kind of self-awareness. She still felt good about herself even though others had such a reaction. How interesting. When Liang Jinfin saw the others laughing, he laughed as well. She thought that her eldest sister would dress Zhao Ping up beautifully and marry her off. If her face was seen by others, she would definitely become a joke and be talked about to death. After a while, Zhao Yun's smile and Liang Jinyu came over as well. Liang Jinyu's family only came over alone. They didn't even bring their children. Compared to when Liang Jinfin and Liang Jinyu came over, the relatives of the Liang family didn't pay much attention to her. They were close to Liang Jinfin because Liang Jinfin's family was well-to-do. They weren't so close to Liang Jinyu because Liang Jinyu's family wasn't well-to-do. The Liang family's relatives were very snobbish. They knew that if they were close to rich relatives, they could still ask for help if they were in trouble in the future. However, if they were too close to poor relatives, they probably wouldn't be able to help them in the future. Instead, they would come to ask for help. No one liked relatives who took advantage of others. It was fine if they didn't get too close to poor relatives in the beginning. Chapter 1033. Nevertheless, she still greeted them with a smile. Sister-in-law, mother. Other than old Madame Liang, the others only responded with a faint sound and ignored Liang Jinyu. Naturally, Liang Jinyu did not feel good about this situation. She just smiled embarrassedly. In fact, she was used to this kind of situation. After all, she wasn't liked at home. Every time she went back to her parents' home, her brothers and sisters-in-law would treat her coldly. She knew the reason. It was because her family was too poor. Other people looked down on her family. This was a matter of no disrespect. Except for her family members, many people in the village were the same. When they saw her family members, they didn't like her. Liang Jinxiao went forward and asked Liang Jinyu, "Jinyu, are you the only one who came from your family? Why didn't the others come?" Old Madame Liang also asked, "Yes, Jinyu. Why are you the only one who came? Where are your family members?" Liang Jinyu smiled and said, "Mother, it's fine for me to come alone. Why are they here? Won't it be troublesome for eldest sister's family to entertain one more person? Don't all the people who come here to drink alone? Who would bring their whole family here?" After Liang Jinyu finished her words, the other people in the room felt their faces begin to burn with pain. Whether it was Zhao Yun's eldest uncle or second uncle, or Zhao Yun's second aunt, they all came with a lot of people. Liang Jinyu's words were a slap to their faces. She said that they brought too many people in front of Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinfin's mouth twitched. He smiled embarrassedly and said, "Jinyu, you're wrong. We're family members. How can it be the same? Since Ping is getting married, all of us relatives have to come." After Liang Jinfin said that, Liang Jinyu couldn't help but say, "But Jinyu, you didn't say that before. When your younger brother got married, I went with my husband, and you even scolded me." After Liang Jinyu finished speaking, Liang Jinfin's expression froze, and his smile froze. Being slapped in the face like this, Liang Jinfin didn't know what to say. Thinking back to the past, it did seem to be the case. She didn't think that Liang Jinyu would still remember and mention it directly.
I
Liang Jinfin didn't know what to say all of a sudden. That's enough, little sister. We're all family, not outsiders, Liang Jinxiao said, trying to defuse the situation. Yeah, haha. Liang Jinfin smiled awkwardly. In the room of the third branch, the women gathered together and liked to chatter. Zhao Ping sat in the room and waited anxiously. While waiting, she muttered, "Mother, why isn't Brother Yuan here yet? Is Big Brother Yuan not coming?" When people were anxious, they liked to let their imagination run wild. Zhao Ping was like that. Seeing that Qin Yuan hadn't come for a long time, she began to guess. Liang Jinxiao walked over and comforted her. "Little Ping, or don't worry. It's not time yet." "What are you talking about? You said it yesterday. Even if you want to go back on your words, you won't go back on your words so soon." Zhao Pinger pouted her lips. "Mom, I'm just doing it." Chapter 1034. Alright Ping, or don't worry. Qin Yuan will definitely come. You have to wait for a while. How about this? I'll cook something for you first. It's going to take a long time today. If you're picked up, your husband's family might not give you anything to eat. Liang Jinxiao cared about his daughter. He knew that getting married was not an easy thing. If she didn't eat well now, she would be hungry for the whole day. When the bride was picked up, her husband's family would make a fuss. They wouldn't know whether the bride had eaten or was hungry. Therefore, before the bride got married, her husband's family would ask her if she wanted to eat something to fill her stomach in case she was hungry. Zhao Ping didn't care about Liang Jinxiao's concern at all. Zhao Ping replied unhappily, "Mom, I don't want to eat. Mom, I'm waiting for Brother Yuan now. I'm not in the mood." Liang Jinxiao said helplessly, "All right then. Ping, if you're hungry, don't blame me for not eating with you in advance." "Mom, what are you talking about? I'm not blaming you. If I'm really hungry later, I'll tell my mother-in-law. She'll definitely cook something for me." All right. If you're hungry, you can tell her yourself. Don't keep quiet when you're hungry." "I know, Mom. I'm not stupid." "That's good." Zhao Ping sat in the house and waited anxiously, while Zhao Yun was busy preparing the banquet outside. There were a lot of preparations for the banquet at noon. The chicken was already stewed in the pot, and the other dishes were already cut. Once the banquet started, these dishes could be poured into the pot and cooked quickly. It could speed up the serving of the dishes. Zhao Yun only wanted to get busy as soon as possible so that she wouldn't be in a hurry when the banquet started. There were quite a lot of people in old Zhao's courtyard. The women in the village went to Zhao Yun's house to join in the fun and chat. There weren't many ways to entertain in the village, and a lively event like a wedding was even rarer. Therefore, Zhao Yun's family had many talents. Mulan and Muhin were both busy and did not have the time to talk like the other women. Seeing that no one had come to pick up the bride, Mulan went to Zhao Yuner and said, "Yuner, why hasn't your sister's-in-laws come yet? It's almost time." Mulan went to Zhao Yun, and said. Zhao Yuner shook her head and said, "I don't know. Yuner, I don't want to say this, but your sister Pinger's in-laws are really unreliable. They still drag on such an important event like the wedding." Zhao Yuner replied helplessly, "What should we do? They don't want to marry my sister Pinger. Alas, the wedding is already like this. If she marries over, she will probably be even more disliked." Zhao Yun nodded. "Of course, but it's better if she's disliked. I'm afraid that they will like her." Zhao Yuner's words made Mulan laugh. "Haha, Yuner, what you said is really interesting. I'm telling the truth. Our family is too good to my sister Pinger and spoils her. If my sister Pinger marries into another family, she will know what it's like." Chapter 1035. Her mother-in-law's family was different from her mother-in-law's family. She had to listen to her mother-in-law. She remembered that when she had just married into the family, she had been tortured by Mrs. Zhu. She had to do all kinds of hard work. Otherwise, she would be scolded to death by Mrs. Zhu. She could bear hardships and cooperate with her mother-in-law, but Zhao Ping was too lazy to do anything in her mother-in-law's family. If she didn't do anything in her mother-in-law's family, she would be scolded to death. While they were chatting, they saw a group of people coming over. It was the family of Qin Yuan. However, when the family of Qin Yuan came over, they only asked people to carry a broken sedan chair. The sedan chair looked very shabby, as if it was made from somewhere. Half of the sedan chair was broken. They probably didn't have enough money to rent it, so they used this kind of sedan chair that no one else wanted. When the people who came to pick up the bride came over, they heard the sound of a gong. The people who came to pick up the bride are here. They're here. They're finally here. They've been waiting for so long. Once the family of Qin Yuan came over, the crowd who wanted to join in the fun immediately looked over. Zhao Yun and Mulan also stopped what they were doing and looked in the direction of Qin Yuan. As the groom today, Qin Yuan was wearing a red groom's suit. However, the groom's suit looked very old. It didn't look new. If Zhao Yun knew that Qin Yuan's groom was worn by Qin Dashan when he got married, what would she think? However, although his clothes were a little old, Qin Yuan was handsome, so he still looked very elegant. He was very good-looking. After the crowd saw the appearance of Qin Yuan, they began to whisper to each other. Let's not talk about other things. The groom today is really handsome. Yeah, I've never seen such a handsome man before. It seems that Ping took advantage of the situation. She thought that her groom was also ugly. Now that I've seen it, I finally know why Ping can't wait to get married. Seeing such a handsome little husband, she wants to be taken back to the bridal chamber as soon as possible. That's right, but why did you bring such a broken palanquin over? Everyone in the family is dressed so shabbily. They must be poor. No wonder. He probably can't find a wife, so he came here to marry Ping? That should be it.
That's right.
Otherwise, with such a handsome face, it would be very easy to find a wife. His family is probably too poor. How could an ordinary family bear to let their daughter marry into a poor family and suffer? Speaking of which, this Ping, girl is dressed so nicely. If she uses this kind of sedan to receive her in-laws, I wonder what they will think. What can she think? It's not like she doesn't know that her mother-in-law's family is poor. Since she's willing to marry over, she naturally knows. It's fine as long as Ping doesn't complain. Yes, as long as Ping doesn't complain and is happy, it's fine. The gossipers chattered one after another. Zhao Yun squinted her eyes to look at Qin Yuan's family. Seeing Qin Yuan's long face, she knew that he didn't seem to be happy. It was understandable. It would be abnormal if he was happy to marry such an ugly woman like Zhao Ping. Chapter 1036. The corner of Zhao Yun's mouth twitched, and she said indifferently, "That's my sister Ping's business, not me. The family Qin is poor, and they don't care about Sister Ping. Naturally, they won't be willing to spend money to rent a good sedan chair. Sigh, that's really stingy. When your sister Ping marries into that family in the future, I'm 80% sure that her in-laws won't treat her well." Zhao Yun pursed her lips. "Sister-in-law Mulan, don't worry about it. I already said that it's best that way." Okay. Let's not talk about it. Let's take a rest and watch the show for a while." Zhao Yun responded. As the family Qin people walked closer, the sound of the gong also became louder. The Liang family members in the room hurriedly said, "Ping, your husband is here. He's already in the courtyard. He's here. As these people spoke, Zhao Ping couldn't hold back her excitement and asked patiently, "Really?" "It's true. Little Ping, listen, the sound of the gong is really loud." Zhao Ping stretched her ears to listen for a while. It was true. Gid Yuan really came. He really came. That's great. It seems that Gid Yuan didn't come so late because he ran away from the marriage. Zhao Ping quickly jumped up from the bed and looked like she was about to run out. Liang Jinxiao saw that and hurriedly pulled Liang Jinxiao back. He said to Zhao Ping, Ping, where are you going? Mother, didn't you say that Gijuan is here? I'm going out now to see Gijuan and leave with him. After Xiao Ping said that, Liang Jinxiao couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. He said to Xiao Ping, Ping, are you kidding? Nonsense. Xiao Ping looked at Liang Jinxiao in confusion and asked Liang Jinxiao, Mother, I'm going out. How is that nonsense? I can't let Gijuan wait for too long. After Xiao Ping finished speaking, Liang Jinxiao couldn't help but say, Ping, you really don't know any rules. How can you be like this? No rush, no rush. Let's wait for that child Qin Yuan to come over first. Mom. Xiao Pinger looked very anxious. What if Brother Yuan leaves after waiting for a long time? Don't worry, he won't. It's fine if you get married, but you have to follow the rules. Aren't you afraid of being laughed at when you get married? Liang Jinxiao said helplessly. If it weren't for her stopping her, Xiao Ping would probably have really rushed out of the room. Well, Mother, I'll wait for a while more. Xiao Ping said bashfully. When she sat back on the bed, Xiao Ping felt as if she was performing acupuncture. Her heart had long flown out, and she was eager to leave with Qin Yuan as soon as possible. Xiao Ping's attitude inevitably became a joke in the eyes of others. The Liang family covered their mouths and snickered. They had seen unreserved girls before, but they had never seen a girl as unreserved as Xiao Ping. Thinking about Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua, they felt really tired to have such a mentally retarded daughter to worry about. Guo Saixia said with a smile, Since the person who came to pick up the bride is here, let's go out and go through the procedures. Yes, let's go. Saying that, the people in the room went out. Whether it was Zhao Yun's aunts or cousins, they all walked out curiously. Chapter 1037. As the saying goes, what kind of person is matched with what kind of person? With Xiao Ping's ugly appearance, she could only be matched with an incomparably ugly man. But after seeing them, they realized that the truth was completely different from what they had imagined. They saw that among the men who came to receive the bride, there was a very handsome man wearing a red wedding robe. This man was much better looking than the average man in the village. When they saw Qin Yuan, their first reaction was that he was good-looking. Their second reaction was that an ugly woman like Xiao Ping could actually marry such a good-looking man. It was like a fresh flower stuck in cow dung. Ping, Jie's husband, is really handsome. Liang Xinzi sighed after seeing him. Liang Xinyue's heart was filled with jealousy. I say, Jie, you're staring at a man and still saying such things. Don't you know what shame is? Liang Xinzi's mouth curved. I'm telling the truth, so what? The man I'm looking at isn't some other man but Ping, Jie's husband. Then you can't look at him. Why are you staring at Ping, Jie's husband? Could it be that you want to snatch him? Facing Liang Xinyue's aggressive words, Liang Xinzi was too lazy to argue with Liang Xinyue. You Jie, I'm not as dirty as you think. I'm just happy for Ping, Jie. After all, such a good-looking man can't be married to most people. Liang Xinzi's words were very hypocritical in Liang Xinyue's eyes. That's enough, big sister Zier. Stop pretending. You're just envious of Ping, Jie. I reckon that she also wants to marry such a handsome man. Liang Xinzi chuckled. When did I say that? You Jie. Don't speak nonsense. Could it be that it's not true? Am I the only one who knows? Why is it that little sister you has become a roundworm in my stomach and knows better than I do? Keep being stubborn. Liang Xinyue snorted and continued to look at Qin Yuan. Although Qin Yuan was quite handsome, his family was too poor. They actually came to pick up the bride in such a shabby sedan chair. If it were her, she probably wouldn't be willing to go up. It was really embarrassing to be married in such a sedan. It's beautiful, but it's too poor. If it were me, I definitely wouldn't want it. Only someone like Sister Pinger is suitable, Liang Xinyue muttered. The corners of Liang Xinzi's mouth curled up again. Her cousin was just like that. For the sake of money, she didn't care about a man's looks. The family that Liang Xinhua talked to was quite well-to-do, but the man was too wild. After all, there was a butcher in his family, and he had a murderous aura. He was about the same as an ordinary butcher. He was tall and sturdy, had a full beard, and looked fierce. He was clearly in his early 20s, but he looked like a man in his 30s or 40s. With just a glance, people didn't want to continue looking. Liang Xinhua was like a little lamb in front of this kind of man. Liang Xinzi was worried that her cousin wouldn't be able to handle this kind of man. Wasn't she afraid that she would be eaten up without spitting out any bones? In any case, if it were her, she wouldn't be with someone else just because they were rich. She would feel disgusted if she was with that kind of man. The Qin family arrived at old Zhao's courtyard. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao came out to receive them. The two families first chatted for a while, then followed the procedure. They stayed at old Zhao's house for about 10 minutes before letting Zhao Ping go out. Chapter 1038. Really, second aunt? Second aunt. Zhao Pinger happily asked. It's okay, really. Wu Zhenju supported Zhao Ping, as he spoke. Come on, Ping, second aunt will send you out. Okay, thank you, second aunt. Zhao Ping, said, and quickly got up from the bed. Seeing that her daughter was about to get married, Liang Jinxiao suddenly felt a little reluctant to part with her. After she married into her husband's family, she would not be able to see them often like she did in her mother's family. A married daughter was like spilled water, and she would have fewer opportunities to be with her mother's family. After all, she was her daughter. No matter how much Zhao Ping tormented her in daily life, she would feel sad now that she was about to get married. Liang Jinxiao's eyes reddened slightly, and she wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes. Pinger. Liang Jinxiao pulled Zhao Ping's hand, and she was a little reluctant to let Zhao Ping leave. Mother, what do you want to say? Zhao Pinger originally wanted to go out immediately, so she was very happy. However, before she went out, Liang Jinxiao called her again, so she couldn't help but ask impatiently. Liang Jinxiao sobbed, wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes, and reminded Zhao Ping, Ping, when you go to your husband's family, don't act like you're in your mother's family. After all, you're not their daughter, and they won't dote on you too much. When you're in their family, you have to be diligent. You can't be lazy, or they'll dislike you. Also, you have to be filial and serve your in-laws well. Liang Jinxiao reminded her a few times, and she talked for a long time. Her hand held Zhao Ping's hand tightly, and she said to Zhao Ping, The more Zhao Ping listened, the more impatient she became. Her mother was really. Usually, she didn't say anything. Now that she was in a hurry to go out, she pulled her hand and talked nonstop. Therefore, Zhao Ping said to Liang Jinxiao unhappily, Mother, you've said so much. Are you done? I'm going out. If there's anything, we can talk about it later. Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Ping helplessly, as if a basin of cold water had been poured over his heart. She couldn't bear to part with Zhao Ping, but Zhao Ping's heart wasn't with her. Forget it. It was useless for him to say anything more. It was better to let Zhao Ping leave quickly. Therefore, Liang Jinxiao did not continue to hide it from Zhao Ping. Instead, he asked Zhao Ping to go out. Watching Zhao Ping leave, Liang Jinxiao sighed slightly. With this girl's temperament, it would be strange if her in-laws didn't criticize her. Liang Jinyu comforted from the side. Big sister, don't worry about it. The grandchildren will have their own blessings. Who knows? Ping might become more sensible after she marries over. Liang Jinxiao sighed and shook his head. Sigh, forget it. We can only do this. After Zhao Ping went out, she became even more excited when she heard the commotion outside. Once she thought of Qin Yuan, Zhao Ping couldn't hold it in anymore. It was great that she was finally married to her big brother Yuan. She was dressed so nicely today. She wondered what big brother Yuan would think when he saw her. Would he think that she looked stunning like this? Zhao Ping was also curious about how Qin Yuan was dressed and whether it looked good. Her family was Yuan, and he was already handsome. If he wore a wedding dress and dressed up properly, he would definitely be even more handsome. Zhao Ping couldn't help but secretly lift up the red veil, wanting to take a look. Before she could see anything, Wu Xinzhu pressed it down. Ping, you can't lift it up. You can't lift it up. Wait until the groom lifts it up for you at night. Then you can lift it up. Chapter 1039. Look, Ping, a girl? What are you looking at? Wu Xinzhu asked. Zhao Ping said shyly, Second aunt, I want to see my husband. Wu Xinzhu chuckled. Ping, girl, your husband is very good-looking. Ping, girl, it's not like you haven't seen him before. After you get married, you can take a good look at him at night. There's no need to rush things now. Zhao Ping nodded when she heard that. Okay, second aunt, I understand. Hee Ping, girl, it's good that you understand. Cover your head properly, and don't let anyone see you. Okay, second aunt. Zhao Ping nodded cooperatively. Wu Xinzhu brought Zhao Ping to Qin Yuan. He said to Qin Yuan, Here, groom, I'll bring the bride to you. Thank you, Qin Yuan said. Looking at Zhao Ping, standing in front of him, he felt that she was different from usual. Zhao Ping was wearing a bright red wedding dress. If he didn't think of Zhao Ping's face, he would have thought that she was a great beauty. Thinking of Zhao Ping's face, Qin Yuan couldn't help but frown. Mu Chunfang saw Zhao Ping's outfit today and said with a smile, Ping, our girl is really beautiful today. Yuan, you're lucky. Mu Chunfang's intention was to tell Qin Yuan not to look so gloomy and unhappy. After all, it was a joyous occasion to get married. They couldn't just put on a sullen face and look unhappy. It was as if they were holding a funeral at home. How is this a joyous occasion? Qin Yuan snorted. Did he think that he was a fool? Only a fool would believe that. Okay, stop talking. Let Ping get into the sedan chair. Wu Xinzhu called out. Mu Chunfang nodded and said, Yes, let Ping get into the sedan chair first. Okay. With that, Mu Chunfang helped Zhao Ping into the sedan chair. Ping, girl, slow down. Don't bump into anything, Mu Chunfang reminded her. Got it, mother. Zhao Ping answered happily. Mu Chunfang directly called her mother instead of Mu Chunfang. After all, she was going to marry into the Qin family today, so she was a member of the Qin family. It was fine to change it now. Mu Chunfang chuckled and replied, Okay. He was very happy to see Zhao Ping. After all, he was marrying a wife. No matter how bad Zhao Ping was, she was still a normal woman. She could bear children in the future and carry on their Qin family line. Let's go. Mu Chunfang said after carrying Zhao Ping into the sedan chair. The people carrying the sedan chair lifted it up a little. Suddenly, there was a cracking sound. Everyone was stunned. They didn't know what had happened. Then they saw that the bottom of the sedan chair was broken. Zhao Ping fell out of the sedan chair. Zhao Ping screamed as she fell to the ground. Ping, girl, what happened? Mu Chunfang quickly asked. Mother, it hurts. Zhao Ping complained. Why did the sedan chair fall apart? Mu Chunfang saw the situation and quickly asked. Staring at the broken sedan chair, he was at a loss. They were supposed to pick up the bride. Why did the sedan chair suddenly fall apart? Great. How were they supposed to pick up the bride? Chapter 1040. Zhao Ping grumbled and complained. How could they carry such a sedan chair over to her wedding like this? Although she knew that the Qin Yuan family was a little poor, they shouldn't do this. As Zhao Ping fell, the red veil on her face suddenly fell off, revealing her frightening makeup underneath. Many people who didn't see Zhao Ping's makeup were shocked by Zhao Ping's appearance, especially those who were carrying the sedan chair. Because they were right beside Zhao Ping, they were frightened by Zhao Ping, and quickly ran away. Ah, there's a ghost. There's a ghost, there's a ghost. Help, help. For a moment, old Zhao's courtyard was in a mess. They were all frightened by Zhao Ping's appearance. Mu Chunfang looked toward Zhao Ping. When he saw Zhao Ping's face that was as white as a ghost, he originally wanted to help Zhao Ping up. However, he was frightened by Zhao Ping and fell back. He sat on the ground, still in shock, and patted his chest with his other hand. He muttered, "Oh my God, there's a ghost." Zhao Ping was still complaining because she was in pain from the fall. "Mother, it hurts so much." "Mother, why didn't you get me a good sedan chair?" When Mu Chunfang saw that Zhao Ping was talking to him, he was stunned for a moment before he realized that what he saw was not a ghost, but Zhao Ping. Ping, a girl? Mu Chunfang asked uncertainly. "Mother." Zhao Ping mumbled.
Ah.
"Ping, girl, how did you end up like this? You really scared me." As Mu Chunfang spoke, he went in front of Zhao Ping and pulled Zhao Ping up from the ground. "Mother, my butt is almost broken from the fall." After Zhao Ping complained, she wiped her face. "Mother, don't I look good today?" Mu Chunfang swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva into his stomach. Look good, how could she look good? Zhao Ping looked even better than usual. She couldn't be described as ugly anymore. She was very scary. She was so scared that his soul almost left his body. He didn't know what happened to Zhao Ping that made her dress like this. "Ping, you look worse than usual," Mu Chunfang said weakly. Actually, if she really dressed up properly, she wouldn't look bad. Now that she looked like this, even a woman like Zhao Ping would be scared to death, let alone a man. It would be strange if his Yuan was willing to touch such a woman. Sigh. Mu Chunfang sighed in his heart. Thinking about how pitiful his Yuan was, it was all his parents' fault. If he had money, he could also let Qin Yuan marry a beautiful girl. Now, he could only marry someone like Zhao Ping. Qin Yuan was really helpless about this. He could only think about it in the future. When their family situation improved, he could continue to arrange other marriages for Qin Yuan and find a presentable daughter-in-law. Qin Yuan glanced at Zhao Ping on the ground, and the corner of his mouth couldn't help but twitch. He originally had some fantasies about Zhao Ping and thought that Zhao Ping could give him a surprise if she dressed up properly. He didn't expect to be surprised when he saw Zhao Ping's appearance. She didn't look like a bride at all. She looked like a female ghost. Qin Yuan's face instantly darkened. Idiot. Chapter 1041. No matter where he went, people would probably say that he married a ghost-like wife. The more Qin Yuan thought about it, the angrier he got. If she was ugly, he could tolerate it, but if she was stupid, he really couldn't accept it. Looking at Zhao Ping's ghost-like face, Qin Yuan really wanted to fling his sleeves and directly reject this marriage. Losing face now was better than losing face after marrying Zhao Ping. Mother, it's not that exaggerated, right? I just put on a bit more rouge. Rouge is good stuff. Zhao Ping muttered.
AI.
Okay, Ping girl, don't say any more. Hurry up and cover your head. Let's go back. Mu Chunfang said as she picked up the red veil on the ground and covered Zhao Ping's head with it. Mu Chunfang was worried that Qin Yuan would be angry if he saw Zhao Ping like this. What if Qin Yuan threw a tantrum and quit now? What should he do then? Anyway, this time, they had to marry Zhao Ping. Okay, mother, Zhao Ping replied resentfully. Mother, I can't still be sitting in this broken sedan, right? Otherwise, I'll fall again. Zhao Ping scolded. Mu Chunfang suddenly felt very embarrassed. This, Ping girl, if you don't sit in this sedan, then you won't be able to sit in it. But mother, this is too dangerous. Zhao Ping muttered. Looking at the broken sedan, she didn't want to sit in it anymore, afraid that she would fall again if she sat in it. In the end, her life was still more important. She couldn't treat it as a joke. Mother, you said that you came to pick up the bride. Why didn't you spend money and rent a better sedan? Zhao Ping continued to complain. Mu Chunfang suddenly didn't know what to say. Her family was poor, so she would save money wherever she could. He even borrowed a broken shelf from someone and stuffed 2 eggs into it. Wasn't that just a waste of time? If he were to rent a good palanquin, it would cost at least a few hundred copper coins. There was no need to waste money, so they naturally wouldn't waste it. Moreover, he felt that although the palanquin was a little broken, who would have thought that it would be so broken after being used so carelessly? When Qin Yuan heard Zhao Ping's ridicule, he walked over unhappily and said to Zhao Ping, if you don't want to sit here, then don't sit here. Otherwise, you can leave by yourself. Otherwise, don't come to my house. Today's wedding is cancelled. Hearing Qin Yuan's angry words, Zhao Ping was stunned. Big brother Yuan, do you really think you're the daughter of a rich family? It's already good enough that there's a sedan to pick you up, yet you're still nagging about it. The corners of Zhao Ping's mouth twitched. She knew that Qin Yuan was angry. Hence, she hurriedly said, Big brother Yuan, I'll sit here, all right? I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Qin Yuan snorted softly. Mu Chunfang hurriedly said to Qin Yuan, Yuan, today is a joyous day. Don't be angry. Don't make a fuss. We've wronged Ping. It's our fault. Don't be so fierce. It's fine now. Let's go. Only then did Qin Yuan's stiff face soften a little. He continued to snort softly and didn't want to bother with Zhao Ping anymore. This was probably the first time he had ever felt so stifled after marrying a wife. Mu Chunfang hurriedly pulled Zhao Ping and said, Ping, come. Mother will help you in. It's tight now. Don't fall out again. Zhao Ping nodded. She didn't want to fall out either. The quality was too poor. Could she be blamed? Chapter 1042. When Zhao Ping sat in the sedan chair again, she followed Mu Chunfang's instructions and held the sedan chair's door tightly, afraid that she would fall out. Let's go, let's go. Mu Chunfang shouted again and called out to the men who were carrying the sedan chair. After the sedan chair was lifted again, Zhao Ping said to Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua, In-laws, we've taken Ping away. Don't worry, we'll definitely treat Ping well. And you can go now, Zhang Wenhua replied. Seeing that his daughter was taken away, Zhao Wenhua was also sad and reluctant to part with her. After all, once she got married, she would be part of someone else's family, and it would be different from his own family. After Mu Chunfang, Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao finished greeting each other, he pulled Qin Yuan and said, Yuana, don't just stand there. Let's go. Okay. Qin Yuan responded reluctantly. After Liang Jinfin took Qin Yuan away, old Zhao's family watched as the family Qin left. After the family Qin's people left, the courtyard began to talk again. Wu Zhenju walked in front of Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao and said to Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao, Sister, brother-in-law, your in-laws are not very good. You actually used such a shabby sedan chair to pick up the bride. Originally, you had dressed Ping up beautifully in hopes that she would get married in a grand manner. But now, this in-law's family has made such a shabby sedan chair. She's getting married in such a shabby manner. Liang Jinfin and Liang Jinxiao smiled embarrassedly and said, It's okay. Family Qin is poor, so we don't care about this. They couldn't possibly say that they cared, right? At the very least, he had to leave some face for himself. Wu Zhenju also smiled and said, Elder sister, elder brother-in-law, you two are really generous. If my Yuer married into such a family and became like this, I would definitely scold her. Our situation is different. Liang Jinxiao replied weakly. He really didn't want to continue talking about this topic. It was really embarrassing to talk about it. Guo Saixia smiled and said, Second sister-in-law, you can't compare like this. Yuer has found a good marriage. Not everyone can find such a good marriage like Yuer. Speaking of this, Wu Zhenju was a little proud. Of course. My Yuer is pretty and has a good life. That means she can find a rich husband. Elder sister-in-law, my Yuer's marriage is almost set. Your Zir's marriage needs to be arranged quickly. Zir is not bad. Maybe she can find a good marriage like my Yuer. Wu Zhenju was just saying it to show off. He didn't really want Liang Shizi to find a good marriage. If she found one, she would feel sad. Sisters-in-law were like this. No one could see the other doing well. Guo Zaixia's expression didn't change. He smiled and replied, "Of course. But you still have to find a good marriage partner." Other than the qualifications, the character is also another. The main thing is that my Zir won't have to suffer hardships when she gets married. It's fine as long as he can take care of my Zir. Wu Zhenju snorted softly. He felt that Guo Zixia was really good at pretending. It was all because she hadn't found anyone rich yet that she said that. If she could really find a rich marriage partner, his sister-in-law would definitely show off in front of him. Now, he could only be envious of their Yuer. Chapter 1043. Wu Zhenju said sarcastically to Guo Zixia. The two sisters-in-law instantly became unhappy. Liang Jinhui came out and said with a smile, "We were just talking about Ping. Why are the two of you talking now?" Liang Jinhui was worried that Wu Zhenju and Guo Zixia would quarrel again. It was fine if they quarreled in the Liang residence. After all, the door was closed and no one would know. However, they were in Zhao Yun'er's house now. There were so many people watching. If they quarreled, they would become a laughing stock. Got it. Wu Zhenju responded. Zhao Wenhua sighed deeply and said to Wu Zhenju, "It's not that we don't want to choose our in-laws. It's just that Ping's qualifications are there. If she's like you, then we can choose carefully. Ping's looks are too shabby. It's good enough that a man is willing to marry her. What's there to be picky about?" After hearing Zhao Wenhua's words, Wu Zhenju couldn't make fun of him even if he wanted to. Zhao Wenhua was telling the truth. It was good enough that Zhao Ping got married. What's there to be picky about? Brother-in-law, you're right. It's just that I don't know if Ping will suffer if she marries him, Wu Zhenju said again. Zhao Wenhua waved his hand. It's her business, whether she'll suffer or not. Since Ping is willing to marry him, it's her decision. He has to be responsible for it. Wu Zhenju smiled embarrassedly. But Ping is so happy today. Of course she's willing. I can't wait to run to her house. Zhao Wenhua's expression stiffened. He felt very awkward when he thought about what Zhao Ping had done today. It wasn't just awkward. It was embarrassing. He couldn't think about these things anymore. Otherwise, he would lose face. Zhao Wenhua had no choice but to call out to the Liang family. Eldest brother, second brother, eldest sister-in-law, second sister-in-law, go inside and rest. The banquet will start in the afternoon. When it came to serious matters, the topic immediately changed. Yes, brother-in-law is right. Let's quickly sit down and wait for the banquet to start. Okay. After entertaining the Liang family, Zhao Wenhua caught up with Zhao Tianhu and Zhao Tian and went to the other houses in the village to prepare the tables and chairs for the banquet. And they didn't seem to have any intention of helping. Of course, they treated themselves as guests. There was no reason for them, which was why they acted. Of course, Zhao Yunlong did not count on these people at all. After all, he knew the Liang family's character. They might be unreliable. After a while, Zhao Wenhua brought Zhao Tianan and Zhao Tianhu back with the tables and chairs. The family continued to get busy. Zhao Yun, Liang Jinxiao, Mulan, Mu Hin, and old Madame Chen were busy in the kitchen. This banquet was very important because the people of the third branch worked very hard. If the banquet was done well, the third branch's face would look much better. They had to do it well. Because Zhao Yun'er was busy, there was a burst of fragrance coming from the kitchen. The people in the courtyard swallowed their saliva. What did old Zhao's third branch do? Why is it so fragrant? I've never seen a banquet with such a fragrant smell. Yes, I want to eat just by smelling it. My stomach is growling. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.